Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are here for the grand finals of the AOC Masters Tournament. It has been a long road battling through the last month for these teams, but finally they have made it to the last best of 5. In fact, not a best of 3. Now, it is a 4-map pool, but we'll continue with the loser picking the next map, the higher seed selecting the first. This is going to be an interesting one, Simo, and I think this might be the last time you and I, or you or I, separately even, get a chance to cast a best of 5 on the 4-map pool.
Yeah, you know, a lot of the tournaments have started to move over to including and incorporating Icebox and Sky into their kind of rule set. And I still think that it's kind of been a bumpy road, like a little bit of a weird transition into that. Even some tournaments still kind of, it still feels weird to see Icebox. You know, we're not at that stage where it feels like it's like a norm, like socially acceptable to see Icebox in the pool and even to see Icebox played because of how many teams kind of dislike it. But for this tournament, as you highlighted, we're not stuck in the pool. It's just a format pool that we're going to have in this best of 5. And I find it interesting that the loser is going to be picking the map. So it's one of those things where whoever gets that first map pick, if somebody here in this instance can win 2 maps in a row, it's going to be huge. It's going to be so pivotal for the actual series itself. But regardless, we've got a very, very tight-knit series, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. This final is not exactly what I was expecting coming into the tournament, I have to say. You know, we expected to see a lot of teams here, like your AHQs, like your SMG or Myth Attitude. Matter of fact, there was even conversation around SMG and Myth Attitude being in the same group, being a little bit unfair, because at that point, you know, you've got the other 2 in their group that basically guaranteed to not make it through. And yet, Alter Ego, the team that was stuck in that group, that no doubt saw that listing and went, God damn, we've drawn the short straw here. They're in the grand finals. They've made it, and they've made it further than any other team who are reputable. But as we talk about making it to the finals, let's talk about the overall tournament. Let's take a look at where we started things out way back a month ago and how we made it to this best of 5 grand final. Started out with national qualifiers, 2 teams from every region with the exception of Thailand. They've got that extra little bit of skill, so we gave them 4. Then we go regional group phase, top 16 teams. Make it all the way through to here where they're divided into 4 groups of 4. They play a round robin format. The top 2 from the groups, from each group, go through to the regional final. And that brings us up to speed with today because we've made it. The top 8 teams battled it out, and there's only 2 remaining: Overtime Esports and Alter Ego. It has been one hell of a journey, Simo. And now we decide which of these teams is going to be the champion, the Radiant, walking home with $5,000, and who's going to be that just noob of an immortal player.
We do have our 3rd and 4th place teams already locked in. As we'll give you a little bit of an update as what happened in that best of 3, why we didn't get to that 3rd map. But overall, it is going to be Attack All Around taking that 3rd place and Bren Esports taking that 4th place. So still a prize pool coming through, gaming monitors coming through, but we're all here to see who is going to be crowned the champion here at the AOC Masters Tournament.
That we are. We want to see that Grand Champione. But here's the teams that made it to the regional finals. The teams that had a chance to become the champion, to become at least the 2nd place, but some didn't make it all the way. Attack All Round down in the bottom. They finished in 3rd place. Bren, top right. Those boys took 4th home. And you're seeing here in the brackets how the rest of the games went down. And they led us to overtime versus Alter Ego. But what is noteworthy is that Alter Ego had a pretty tough route. They faced off against AHQ to start it out. They had in the groups, they had Team SMG and Myth Attitude. I think they have played every top level team in the region with the exception of Attack All Round. That's the only one they managed to dodge. So they got the short straw, but they proved to us that they're worthy of making it to the finals. Whilst overtime, they're maybe not as tested, but they're still not to be underestimated because they absolutely manhandled Attack All Round in the semifinals.
Yeah, I see that, but considering the performance throughout the entirety of this tournament from Attack All Around, it feels like a wounded team, you know? It feels like they were just trying to find their footing just to make it over the finish line, and they did. They got to that 3rd place spot. If you missed it, we did see, of course, Attack All Around taking that earlier best of 3 3rd place matchup up against Bren Esports 2-1. 2nd map going in favor of Attack All Around, and then that 3rd map was forfeited by Bren Esports. Moving into this one, it's going to be a best of 5. This was kind of the big kahuna that we were waiting for the Tides to come in and give to us on a silver platter. Overtime Esports up against Alter Ego. Personally, between you and I think probably the most explosive teams that we've seen, minus looking at how Bren Esports play. I think that this best of 5 is going to be Juju's and Pinocchio's up against Berserk's and 𝗔𝗏𝗖 or 𝗔𝗎𝗎. Whoever dashes in first on the jet, whoever just explodes first, whoever pops off first on the duelist, this is going to be a battle of the duelists. We've seen how many performances Juju's brings to the table, how many performances Berserk's brings to the table, and really who can come out on top here.
What I love about 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍, though, is how they're able to shift their playstyle so much. Like, we've seen 𝗔𝗏𝗖 go onto a Sage, and it was nice. And then a Reyna. Those are not usually two agents that are going to be in your pocket for the one player to select. Now, here we have the best of 5. And again, if you guys aren't familiar with how things roll, the higher seed gets to pick the map to start it out. So overtime are the ones choosing Haven. And then obviously their opposition chooses the side to start on. So 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍 have chosen defense. But the other maps, you'll notice, are not filled in just yet. And the reason for that is the loser of Haven will select map 2. The loser of map 2 will select map 3, and so on and so forth until we reach a 5th. It's going to be one hell of a series. One hell of a fun time for us to roll with, because BO5s, there's not that many of them around. Certainly not with the 4-map system. First to 3, which means basically you're going to go through the whole map pool. Even if it is a 3-0, you're getting the majority of it out. So it's a real test for these teams.
Yeah, I think we'll have to pay really close attention to what level of domination comes through, if at all, for either team. I know that both these teams have been tested and they've done a phenomenal job of making it up until this point. But somewhere in my gut, somewhere deep down in that analytical gut, even though it's usually the brain that analyzes, but for some reason my gut's analyzing today, I just feel like 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍 are coming in with this insane swagger that is unmatched against overtime. I still think that overtime have a huge chance at kind of playing upset, but in my opinion, I feel like 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍 are coming in as the favorites just based on their trajectory through the bracket, which you identified having some more difficult opponents. But let's look at the agent compositions here. 𝗔𝗏𝗖 back on that Sage, something that you had highlighted, being able to be kind of flexible. I think he played the Reyna on Haven last time, so to see it on the Sage, gonna fit right in.
Sorry, my mic was muted again, Simo. I've done it once more. My little puppy came in to say hello. I muted the mic and I completely forgot. He's here with me now. He's happy about the Sage as well. 𝗔𝗏𝗖, when it came down to Reyna play, it just didn't deliver for me last time, so I'm happy that he's on Sage. But what I was saying was the attacking side, they just don't pick Breach. In this region, for some reason, Breach is getting neglected, as EU will tell you all day long. Oh, Breach, he's overpowered. He needs to be nerfed. Too many flashes, man. Whereas this team's coming in on the defending side, they only have 1 flash, and that's a paranoia. Sure, it's the strongest flash in the game, but then on the attacking side, you've got and then Phoenix, who, let's be real, not the most useful flashes for entering your teammates. It's pretty unbelievable. This little fella's really surprised that we're not getting more breach play out of these guys. That's all he wants. Look, he's looking disappointed.
Oh, Mitch, I didn't know you had a twin. I didn't know you had another brother.
Yeah, this is what it looks like before the shave and after the shave. I have to shave everywhere. It's a process. Yeah. It takes hours. Yeah, obviously we're just facing a little bit of a tech issue there with the team, so we're jumping into the game in just a little bit. Oh, there we go. We're jumping into the game now. So say goodbye, Chewy. We're going to be going into Haven. This is the first map of the grand finals here at the AOC Masters. And listen, I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna be honest. I tried to talk overtime up a little bit. I said they did well versus Attack All Round. They did 2-0 them, but those maps were close, and that was with Attack All Round having a lot of issues. I see 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍 winning this. I'm gonna be brave here, Simo. I'm gonna say 3-0. I see it.
You know what? I would have to agree with you. Even just looking at 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍's stats. 9 maps on Bind, 78%. 3 maps on Haven, 67%. 9 maps on Split, 89%. Their win rate is just unparalleled. It's unmatched. And for overtime, it's not as good. It's not looking as great. But as the graphic highlighted, this is the best map for both teams. You win this map, you set yourself up real nice for the rest of the series.
Obviously, the fact that your opponents get to choose the next map is something that kind of balances out a little bit if the first map swings towards one team or the other, because you'll have some comfort zone. But with such a small map pool, it's always a secondary concern for me, really. 𝗔𝗂𝗖 playing towards A short, I like it. You know, he's going to be able to bring a lot of value here. We see this team of 𝗠𝘀𝗖 neglect B quite a bit, because on retakes, it's just so easy to get in there. And 𝗠𝘀𝗖 have had so much success on retaking the B site in the past. 𝗔𝗂𝗖, I love that sneaky play, but it doesn't work out. I think the Ghost just sticking around the corner gave Pinocchios the early pre-fire, quick kills to overtime, leaving it into a 1 versus 3, and a pretty tough situation now to get back into if you're Sova, but he dropped a spike, almost got more done. That was a huge attempt, but in the end, the pistol goes to overtime.
This is one of those maps as well that really favors the attack jumping off to a hot start, especially the pistol. We have to give a little bit of credit to 𝗔𝗂𝗖. He started off with a boost, then he was pushed off by Pinocchios, and he still held that spot. Unfortunately, it's one of those spots where the enemy player is going to see your shoulder before you see them. So just very unfortunate for 𝗔𝗂𝗖 there. I feel like if he survives, that could be easily a round win. But even still, Frostmind surviving long enough to find 2 down with him. Looking at this round, though, I think I saw a Bucky come through for one of the players on Alter Ego. Might be looking for some value, some success. But once again, over time, maybe finding some early feelers over towards his A site. The spike's not heading over there quite yet, but now they'll pick it up and start to carry the torch over onto this A site.
Coming back.
Drone was spotted out one. They know there's another player to go short. 𝗔𝒂𝗖 will get dealt with after just one. There was a side swipe by Sage, who ends up taking Pinocchios down. Honestly, look, you're not going to win this round. You got to accept that from the get-go. But with 2 kills already under your belt, hell, if you get 1 more, that's even better. Let me more. He comes in with it. This is massive. Okay, they lose the round. Absolutely, you should do. But 3 kills? That's way too much space given to 𝗠𝘀𝗖.
Yeah, 2 kills is like the standard, like, okay, we traded, great, you know? And now you're seeing overtime in a little bit of a tougher spot. Juju's like 2 points away from the Blade Storm. Possibility of it coming through this round. If you're looking for orbs, then it's possible. If you're not looking for orbs, then it's very difficult. And Juju's is poised towards that A side again. I don't know if we're going to see an exact replica of what happened to Immortals, or rather Envy on Icebox. 12 rounds in a row on the attack on the A site for Icebox. I don't know if we're going to see the same thing, because overtime, once again for that 3rd round, initially started off with a preparation towards this A site, but wonder if that Owl Drone is going to incentivize or threaten Alter Ego to say, okay, look, there's a potential push. We saw one. We saw Owl Drone. That's all we've seen so far. Now that the smokes come through, Frizz is going to get a lot of information just by that shoulder peek. Wall goes up. Can they hold this site?
Frizz is nasty sometimes, but he's only able for the 1. 𝗔𝗀𝗖 back site quickly gets 1 tap. They're sticking the spike plant, but as they jump back up, Lemmy Moore is able to grab the kill. This is it. This is it. Done and dusted. Overtime. They've lost the 3rd round, the conversion over, which is expected again, but something I'll mention that I really didn't like. With the ult so close, as you said, playing off orbs would have made sense. They stacked up outside A with 4 players at the start. With 1 Omen smoke, deep up on C, actually just where the marker is now, right? It blocks any sightline down. You send Jet in, she takes the ult orb. Now you just need 1 kill. And hell, the fact they were seizing a long control by going in with the Sova drone, then again, your Jet can go up there, take that orb, ult is online. Now all of a sudden, you've got a really strong weapon, and you can go for a late round execute when Omen smokes come back up. That, to me, is the strategy for a round like this. You take any advantage you can physically get when you have those weaker weapons, but instead what we're seeing regionally, and certainly for overtime, is a focus towards working with what they've got, as opposed to trying to better their situation with some of those micro plays, I suppose.
And as you say that, 𝗔𝗂𝗖 grabbing the orb down that long side, I think it makes like the most sense for 𝗔𝗂𝗖 to consistently farm those, because he's going to be a res machine, right? On top of a utility machine with the wall and the orb, the slow orb rather. But it's good to see those start to stack up, even if 𝗔𝗂𝗖's not guaranteed to push on the A site and, you know, the ability to find picks or whatever. Looking at this hit, though, it's fast and dirty over towards the B site. Flash comes through, but it's a counter flash. Holy smoke. Smoke goes out quickly as Frizz gets involved. Finding one into Pinocchio's, a crucial member down. Now the shot's going to be there with the crossfire from Juju's, but Zeus is the one that picks up Lemmy Moore entering and exiting out of that smoke. 2 players on each side of B looking to retake as Juju's gets tagged. If he's down for the count, this is going to be the hold for overtime.
The trades are there, but hold on. Scary's pulled it back. Paranoia ready to be thrown out, but the wall is up. They've got to break it. They do. The defuse is being tapped. The heal is not going through, so he's dead. Lava able to grab the frag. They know now nobody's on the defuse, and I don't think he even got it halfway. That's devastating. That's the round done and dusted. Oh, wait, he got it halfway, but no. Scary's still able to swing with slow orb, not quite reaching him. 3-1. I'll say, like, in terms of playing off of orbs, I know we've been going on about it a lot, but it is the next level. And you see teams like FPX, they're the ones that strike me straight away. And it's why the FPX summon game was so interesting, because they don't just fight for map control like it's playing Counter-Strike. They fight for orb control, like that specific part of the map. And you'll see that Angel, he gets his ult online so much. I'd love to see actually a stats comparison of like average ult per round for Angel versus average ults per round for any other Brimstone, back when Brimstone was more relevant in the general comps, or just agents with his amount of charges in general. Because he entries, he gets orbs, and then he can consistently pop down that orbital strike, I'd say every 3 rounds, 4 rounds max, which is massive to be able to have that kind of value applied in the early round. And we're missing that here. But now we have got all ultimates online, for the most part, on both teams. And those that aren't on are just about to be. In Pinocchio's, he's already pushing out to side, his ult activated and completely clearing it. Sees no one here. Smoke, Cloudburst up towards heaven. And okay, you see a player in spawn, you lose your armor, but who cares about that? Really what matters is that you've got site control, and ahead is being spotted.
Oh. Frost also almost getting dangerously low with that shock dart. He'll be smoked off by Scary from distance as he's holding down the flank position. 4v3, and unfortunately, will the attack continue? Yes, it will. The spike will go down. Lava will pay with his life. TP. Omen looking for information back towards spawn. I don't like that teleport because it only finds one player. It doesn't get any more information than that. Now the fight starts to continue. They're starting to run, but the knives come through. Berserk's only able to find one, but 𝗔𝗂𝗖 boosts himself up, continues the chase. When have you seen a Sage so agile?
It's like an acrobat. I love it. The Sage wall boosts, they don't always come through, but one thing I'm missing, I'll be honest, Simo, is that wall boost on the back of B site for the head peek in the window. We used to see a lot. It was the gimmick that I brought into matchmaking. Helped me out quite a bit back in beta. But it's kind of disappeared nowadays. I think we... I do the same thing over on C site, right? You can head boost to see down long. But we don't see it used like that. The wall, especially with the way it is now. Okay, it gets reinforced after a little bit, but you see the majority of the time that it's put in play towards B mid especially, you're going to end up just getting completely knocked out of it straight away. Like, it gets broken first 3 seconds it's up.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it, like, because we see it on Icebox, right? Where you'll have these boosts, these creative boosts consistently coming through. But not so much on the other maps anymore.
I mean, it's such a vertical map for Icebox as well. Even with the changes now, still a very, very vertical map. Alter Ego, 5 members over towards the C site. And now it gets planted. They're going to really go for that retake opportunity available for the res, most importantly. Neural Theft and from the shadows, but hearing that lockdown drop is just going to delay even longer for this retake. So I wonder if Alter Ego save or look for exits, because this is just going to delay so much, and they're going to have to act quick to get into the site, and there's already a flank developing towards this B site.
Yeah, that's going to be the main problem, right? The fact that you can have that jet coming up behind, even when they know about it. Now the tripwire's broken. 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗏 is just shredding them. Already got 3. He's dealt with, but it's way too late. Scary and 𝗠𝘀𝘁 close out the round. And 4-2 we go. Overtime, answering right back. They didn't have the best at weapons, but they did have the best of results. As now 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍 going to be scratching their heads. If they lose this round, they're falling behind by quite a bit. Their economy... Oh, no, they're not going to fully invest. Okay, I thought they were going to gamble it just based on that initial investment. You could see 2 players did enough to get their Vandals out, but then the call was made. No, now is not the time. And honestly, I feel like if 𝗔𝒃 still had his ultimate, they might go for it, because then they've got 3 strong weapons off the bat. But when you haven't got that in play, your 2 Vandals and pistols, it's really better off to just save. You don't want to give Overtime the opportunity to take it 6-2.
To be fair, this is something we expect on the attacking half, even with the composition Overtime have. The double duelist definitely coming through. And speaking of duelist, the initial duel does go to the favor of Overtime, really on multiple sides. This is the eco for them, so they just want to do some chip damage. There's a jet on site, completely unaware as 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝘁𝗏's 𝗔𝒃 gets 2. So much value, and the upgrade. This 3rd pick is going to be huge! 3K on the round. This Swifty is slipping away, and the res now is going to make matters even worse. One more pick is going to be juicy for 𝗔𝒃, but you can't fault him for losing that one. Scary. 24 HP. On the opposite side is Frizz. One classic shot, or even Sheriff, not really sure which one that is, will definitely hurt. Drone comes through, and they're going to try to chase this out. He's going to have to swap over as quick as he can. He's got the classic. He's got the shot. He's got 2! Frizz and 𝗔𝒃 claw this round out from despair.
𝗔𝒃's positioning there was absolutely unbelievable. He pushed onto the side at just the right time. He heard the steps on short. He walked around towards the long side of sight. No one was coming long, so he went undetected, and that's when he's able to strike, take 2 quick kills, upgrade to a rifle, swing on short for the 3rd. Disgusting work. And then Frizz as well. They knew he was there. There was nowhere else he could have been after deploying the drone that quickly. And yet, they couldn't get the shot off. The danger of challenging a Sheriff up close. It gets that 1-tap headshot. And then with your teammate being 20 HP, well, he ain't going to be able to do much more. That is...
So paying attention to how 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗍 set up this cipher, I know he's been anchoring towards the A site consistently, but while we have a little bit of time in this early round, talk to me a little bit about the cipher trip set up on the B site. Like, what is the purpose of that? Like, are they anticipating some sort of retake scenario, or like what's really the whole big picture here?
So those tripwires, first of all, that they haven't been used so far, so they're in a position that's not really expected. Secondly, though, when you're playing against a jet, the way that it's being played by Overtime, every site they go to is being dashed into. So if you put it at the entrance, it's just going to break. It's not going to get you anything, and they've seen that already. But in the position they're in, jet's likely to dash through and end up just getting wrecked by them. But it won't work this time. There'll be no benefit from it. Instead, the benefit will be Lemmy Moore coming up behind. He's got a teammate on the way. The heal is just about to go through. A double peek in towards spawn allows the rotation. This is massive. Overtime realized they were boxed in on C. They had to make a move, and they ran straight into 3 players and shut them all down. Now the A site of unexpected aggression will be theirs. They'll get a plant down, and in a 2v2, this is winnable. Jet's low, has a ult, but low HP. And it's, oh no! What? 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝗏 whiffed lava. The full health player, if he went down, the round was over and done with, but he wasn't expecting him to be that close. Now it's all down to an Omen. A 1 versus 2, hit through the wall in the head as well. It's looking like it might be over. TP's to sight. The shadow step, though, is his last mistake as 𝗠𝘀𝘁 takes him down. What a recovery by Overtime.
That was crazy. Whoever IGL'd that, whoever called that, push link, run through defender spawn, insane. I also have to, like, I think there was a bunch of mistakes in unison together with 𝗠𝘀𝘁𝘍 that kind of cost him that round. Lemmy Moore not finding success from long. He TPs, he has the advantage, right? They don't know that he's there. They think that he may have TP'd Link, and he misses some crucial shots that I think might have turned that around. And then, of course, those series of mistakes over towards that A site, and once that spike was planted. 3-5 the scoreline. possibility for a 9-3, especially since the economy, we haven't really touched on it too much. There's been a loss bonus reset every single round. For the past 5-6 rounds, it's been win, loss for both teams. And this economy is really, really close as a result of that.
Message sent. $30 left. Last player standing. Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Oh!
Bringing it back to some pop singles. Christina Aguilera, be proud. Sage in a bottle coming out huge to bottle in that 1v2 clutch. Really bring it. And look at that. Like 7 rounds in a row. It's been back and forth. 8 rounds in a row, rather. Back and forth and back and forth. But to bottle, picking up where Frostmind could not. And you think in that scenario, you just double swing and it's over. But finding 2 1v1s in the span of several seconds, it sells itself. It sells itself. Now for overtime, they're down to an eco position. Alter Ego can likely tie us up 5-5. And remember, Alter Ego are moving on to the advantageous half moving on. So overtime would have loved to secure that round.
No more. Great shot by Frizz straight away. Shuts down 𝗔𝗢𝗏. Now you're making them scared. Now they're going to use up utility if they want to push that. About these strip wires in mid, they're also in the perfect position that if they smoke off left and right side B and push in, that you'll be able to react. Because if it's in mid, oh my god, Frizz, stop it, man. Leave them alone. They're already dead. They're already struggling. They're already suffering. Out comes the Jet with the ult in play, trying to hunt down Frizz, who'd been spotted. Great bait, because Lemmy_Moore was tucked in the corner. So while she's going out, wondering, okay, where's Frizz? I can kill him. Boom, you're dead. And then the camera activated just the right time to spot Zeus as Tabata was coming in. This whole round was played so well. Like the coordination of player to player was just, everybody was in sync. It was like a boy band. They were in sync. When I look at those mid trip bars as well, just to quickly say, you put them in middle, you put them in the doorway. First of all, everybody's going to expect it. They get up close to the wall. No one ever kind of blindly pushes in. So they'll hear it, they'll destroy it. It serves you no purpose other than telling you, okay, someone can go B now, or someone's approach B. What those do, though, is when they push in, when they smoke left and right, you have players outside the smoke. When they dash in or run in and get caught by the trip bar, now those players caught behind the smoke, where Tabata is now, can spray through and get the kill. 100% capitalize on that frag. Whereas even if the mid one does pop a trip, it's very difficult to trade off of that, particularly because there will be more players there to actually trade you out. So I really like the trip bar usage we saw on B, but based on the fact that overtime are not going B, we're seeing that shift over towards the A side again.
I have to highlight as quickly as I can because I feel like this round is about to really start to cook up. It's super pivotal for overtime, or sorry, super important for overtime to get a spike down, to get a spike plant. The loss bonus that they're going to be at for the last and final round that is after this one is not enough. They need that slight edge over with the spike plant. That's definitely going to be the way to get that spike planted, finding the opening pick. Frostmind, though, is within the vicinity. Can't, at least a nuisance, try to spray down that spike plant, or it's getting planted in a little bit of an awkward, not the default plant spot that we're used to. Resurrection comes through. Hunter Fury as well to follow up. That's actually Zeus. He's looking to try to tag the player that's playing in towards that link side. Okay, spike down. We're not going to talk about the economy anymore. We got to talk about this side hit. Paranoia. It's going to be Berserk. He manages to find the frag onto the player. not then transfer over, but 𝗠𝘀𝘀𝘁 is still alive. Scary's coming in from the side and 100 Fury to boot. But they want to get involved. They're playing the 50 angle. Scary's just trying to chase him down for some reason. Oh, there's a Tate. They're all detained. I didn't even know there was a lockdown. They're trying to hunt them down. Frostmine comes through. Headshot to the dome. 1v1. Scary. He's coming in. He's running in. He's sprinting. He's trying to delay. He's trying to get involved. He's trying to take the shots, and he finds them all. 3K on the round, and success for overtime as they lead by 1.
And there you go. We end up 6-5, as you said, leading by 1. Overtime played that one out so well. There were a couple of factors. For example, the second the res was popped by 𝗔𝗏𝗏, immediately you have the reaction of lockdown going into effect and Zeus popping the Hunter's Fury. Because you know exactly where that player is, right? Somebody killed him. They can tell you, oh, yo, pop a marker on it. That's where I killed him. All of a sudden, Hunter's Fury's on him. He's getting rezzed. He's tagged up. He's dead. The other side of that is it opened up a little bit more information. You're starting to scatter those players. We don't see post-plant Hunter's Furies play as much impact as you would hope nowadays, or as they used to. Really nice timing by Zeus. Well handled. But no res up for overtime because they don't even have a Sage. And neither do Alter Ego because they've just lost to Bottle. Putting this into a 4v3. Good flank by Zeus. He comes up behind. Frizz was expecting it. He wasn't able to hit the shots. Oh, he's tagged him through the smoke. Oh, no.
Oh. Saw him at the last second, too. But somehow Berserk is really making this competitive. He can chase down that Phoenix player. Now it's a 1v1, and it's going to be the post-plant scenario. That was absolutely chaotic on the C site. And unfortunately, without Lava there, can't trade out for losing the Phoenix, right? Berserk now going to figure this out a little late. Better late than never, and he's going to start to rotate over. Figure out which weapon he wants. He's got a lot to choose from. The Tailwind even just get there faster. I don't know. Maybe he just, I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't matter. 1v1. Turret on the box. Whether he peeks through heaven or whether he peeks through yellow, the turret's going to spot him out. So he doesn't have the ability, unless he puts a one-way smoke, which he can, he opts in to destroy it. He knows exactly where he's coming from, and the alarm bot, and the nanoswarm. He doesn't have a tailwind anymore, so he can't get a little active. And unfortunately, that gives Lava the perfect position to just anticipate and play around alarm bot and that nanoswarm that he placed down. But this now is the half that I expect Alter Ego to really find a lot of redemption rounds, tie us back up, and it starts with the pistol.
I'm still trying to process the dash. I feel like that was definitely
like, what's going on?
Yeah, it would have been more useful going back in for the retake, especially when you consider you're up against a Killjoy. But I think it's just very difficult in the moment to realize that. He thought maybe those extra couple of seconds that he saved on the way there would have helped him out a little bit more, but unfortunately not. We end up with Alter Ego down by 2. Now, coming into their attacking side, I expect a lot from this side. 𝗔𝗏𝗏, let me more. Already opened up mid completely. There was an attempt at a push down by overtime, but they've been shut out. Lava should be good for 1. Look at how low Lemmy Moore is creeping in towards the site. But Lava's distracted. There's a massive push towards C. 𝗠𝘀𝘀𝘁 able to deal with Lemmy Moore. They've got their back secured. Now they just need to deal with their front, and Lava does so, bringing it back to a 3v3. Waiting for the regroup, waiting for the player, but hold on. Look at Sage. Look at 𝗔𝗏𝗏. He's coming up behind on B. This is going to be a massive flank. They cannot expect this. They think that they're the ones flanking through C long. But in fact, it's all up to 𝗔𝗏𝗏. 1 swings for more. Can't get it done. Now they've got to worry because there's a player on long who's going to look to deal the damage if they're pushed out into the open. And Berserk, well, he's being challenged. He wins the fight. They know exactly where Sova is. And Berserk is quick to trade out Frost. There we go. 7-6. Only 1 player surviving. It definitely came close with 2 flank plays. It was a crazy pistol.
It's definitely what the doctor ordered for Alter Ego. They wanted to try to tie things up as soon as possible, right? And well, they did so pretty convincingly, right? Think about how that went. 𝗔𝗏𝗏 could have had the hero play to find the 2-piece to, of course, transfer over to something a little bit more easier to manage. But of course, when you put Berserk in a position to succeed, he'll do exactly that. And fortunately for him, he had the opportunity to do those in 1v1s. If it was a overwhelming push, definitely would have been a little bit of a problem. Looking at this round, though, Mitch, a lot of aggression towards this A side. 2 players playing close in the sewer side. Usually you want to see those shorties come through or those burst classics to do some damage. But they are going to back away, leave Juju, and I expect some sort of late round flank, especially as they see this C-side hit develop.
Developing it is. Berserk's already on the side, swinging out for more. This guy's so aggressive and so successful at it. And then even his push
One enemy
serves as a distraction for 𝗠𝗏𝒻𝒄𝒄. Because while he's charging down through the double doors, and that player's focused on the player about to run out on him, 𝗠𝗏𝒻𝒄𝒄 side swipes. And this guy apparently is even bulletproof. He just took a sheriff shot to the face.
Shorty. Took a shorty.
Shorty shot. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Shorty.
Like 6 HP is what he's 6 HP. My goodness. I'd buy a lottery ticket after this tournament. You're not gonna get the you're gonna get more winnings from that luck. I feel like you should, you know, find something to invest in. Buy a stock, buy a ticket, buy something. Bet on a horse, whatever it takes. Just do something with it. Looking at this round though, this is that third round conversion that we look at for the gun round. If Alter Ego win this one, it's such a statement piece. You rarely see these convert though. But judging by how they're playing, they want to play close. They want to play as a group. Oh, that was close. Losing losing a gun duel to a Spectre, especially from range with that Phantom. Come on, Jujus. Come on, Jujus. What? No.
You know, sometimes I'm scratching my head with some of these plays. It happens. It happens. Pinocchio is, well, he's making up for it. He's low HP, but he's surviving. In goes the shock dart, but he's just been healed enough by the hot hands. Eventually, he'll fall. But he's wasted a lot of utility. That's 2 shock darts spent on killing a basically already dead man. He was able to heal himself up. I'll take that. It's a worthwhile trade considering the fact he also got 2 kills.
Definitely a nuisance playing on that B site, and you know they're still interested. Reset comes. Look at that utility on that C site. I'd imagine overtime are going to be consistently prepared round after round for these C hits, and leaving that Killjoy there. They want to try to halt it. They want to try to stop it. The wall goes up. I like the wall because it's also a boost. Part of the wall is being broken. They know there's a player towards that link side. Only one for now. Now shots come in from the opposite side, and guess who's there on the boost? 82 HP is what Zeus was left with. What are you expecting, Frizz? You're not. Now it's a 2v3. Shots can be good from the bottle. Now it's a 1v3, and it's scary. Scary for overtime. I said, if this was going to be that third round conversion for the bonus round, it is not looking good for overtime.
It is not looking good as predicted, indeed. I feel like for overtime, I'm just looking at what they're buying. Hold on. Where is this going? I'm seeing sales, I'm seeing buys, but I'm seeing 3 bookies right now, and we're getting towards the end of the buy time. It looks like that's what we're going to be sticking with. Okay. Success has been there in the past. Look, we saw it in just the third, fourth decider earlier, and we've seen it through the whole tournament. Bookies in this region are bloody nasty. But do Alter Ego offer up the opportunities is the question I was going to pose. And then I look at where they're going. They're barreling up through C long by themselves. They're going to be baited in by the Killjoy. And then look what's going to happen. In comes the Bucky. 1 kill. Looking for more. 2. Looking for a 3rd. Paranoia in play. Good damage done. Basically a kill for him is scary. There's 1 damage to that final player. They're being spotted, but it just doesn't matter. It'll give out. Oh, hold on. The upgrade. Honestly, I'd give that to Scary at this point because Junju's 50 HP, but he's going to go for the spam down through the smokes. The flank, it's being watched. Guess what? It's a Bucky again. This time the headshot's connected to at least keep them alive. But still into that.
Oh,
whoa.
Man.
God, the damage is so big. From that range, a quick right click, and all of a sudden, Frostmind, he's 1 HP and he's dealt with by Scary. This is a disaster. And it all comes down to a 10 HP Frizz to 1v2.
Classic out for Pinocchio's. Spike, of course, planted, and he doesn't have a lot of time to get into post play. He's going towards Link. He sees the shoulder, but he's not really healthy. Down to the 1v1, and it's Scary. Full HP, light armor, up against the Sova. Angle's being held, but he's looking to yellow. He's looking to yellow. He's going to be after that one. Yellow in the face. Fuse comes through. Overtime tie us up. A thrifty round. And to be honest, it was all down to the Bucky. And for you and I don't think we'd ever utter those words in NA or EU. One thing we can finally agree on, that a round went down to the Bucky. But Juju's, he held the angle, who, to be fair, hasn't been really having the outstanding performance that we normally are used to seeing him on. But that Bucky was definitely the redemption arc he needed and he wanted.
I love how we mentioned how dangerous the bookies could be, and then we got an example of just how ridiculous they are at times. And it was a setup. It was used so well. You bait in for the bookie player. He catches one off guard, swings for the second, paranoia in for third, and sure, he doesn't get the kill, but he did all the damage, really. And now, at 8-8, overtime. The defensive hold is stacking up towards the A site with Pinocchio's pushing, so if he falls, they'll have players back behind him. Ult used. He's coming on the faster flank. Juju's using his cloudburst to get out of that sticky situation up above. Doesn't want to be stuck in the corner. Allows the dash to go through without any follow-up bullets, but hold on. Okay, Lava was watching it. I mean, we're not going to quite get away with that. There was a paranoia anyway, so the trade would have been found. Man advantage now for the defensive side, and Alter Ego with 40 seconds left. They need to make a move.
This is just such a tough setup for Alter Ego. Killjoy utility on the C site, really tough to break through. They were playing 3-man on the A side early, and the running back was used. But let's look at the hit, though. 𝗏 and Frostmine and company all down to Frostmine as it's trade after trade after trade, and they definitely traded up. 3 players remain for overtime. But you look at the setup. They tried to hit the B site, but they had angles from both sides, which you don't normally have, right? Teams are very comfortable playing retake, but they didn't really flush it out accordingly. I don't know where Frizz's owl drone went. I don't know what information they gathered to play into towards the B site. And after Lemmy Moore died, they're like, okay, well, let's try A, I guess. And they didn't clear that out effectively either. They were just kind of rushing in because they didn't really have a lot of intel for the round at hand.
Here's a pop straight away. Jet taking the Blade Storm over on the attacking side, pushing into Garage with the drone. We'll spot the alarm bot in a second. Hold on, there's the peak. Player spotted, falling back. Old pop. That's trying to hunt down that tagged up player. They get it onto the side as well. A little bit of team damage, but again, just a tickle. It's all okay. Keeping them awake, keeping them active. Breaking down the Omen ult, but they haven't spotted the one swinging out from Garage. Here we go. A little more, but Lava, he's been shot through the site. He's just being Guardian. Get Guardian, but get flanked. Pinocchio's hit by a knife. He's got one in the sternum, one in the neck, and now he's gone down to the shots from Frizz. 1 versus 3, not too likely. Not too likely, but hold on! Zeus, he strikes, and all of a sudden it's a 1v1. What was going on in Overtime's head, or in Alter Ego's head? I'm so confused, I'm so lost, and so is Zeus, because he's stuck behind a wall. He doesn't want to wait for it to break. He doesn't even know how long it's going to be. Due to the new Sage update, you don't know how long it is until this cracks. He wants to break through and destroy this Planter. He's really just hoping that it starts to decay at the right time. Here we go. It's just about to break. He can dash through it in just a second. There it goes, but he doesn't check his left. Berserk clutches it. But that should have been their round. Much easier than that.
That was very good reposition from Berserk. I felt like he knew the timing more than we did, and more than Zeus did. Zeus was just sitting there impatiently, like a spoiled kid on Christmas. Where's my PlayStation 5? I asked for it 5 months ago. And good on Berserk. Great reposition. And these are rounds that, like, they desperately need on the Alter Ego side. It just seems like Overtime have a really good handle on the defensive setup. This round may not be looking so hot. Recon Bolt will see how many players it spots out. Nope, they get rid of it effectively. Shock Dart will chip some of the players down, and Pinocchio's, I think he saw a couple of players, so that's going to cause him to back up. Now he's just going to play shoulder peek. We're feeling good. We're looking good, but can they hold it? Let's find out.
I know exactly where you are.
Well, it's crunch time now over on the side. Zeus has been spotted. They know where he was, but now they know where he is. Dealing with him in the 1-for-1 trades. Overtime want to get back in here. They've got a lockdown. It's moving into position right now. Nothing to counter it. Once this starts, it will push these players out of position. The Heaven player coming down to push through spawn with them. They want to overtake the site as it pops. Time to go. Smoke down for long to keep them out.
Nice
Actually,
wall.
one of the alter ego players gets detained. I wonder if that's to bait them forward, because that Sage tucked in on short and has support of Jet. I think that was actually a bait, but it doesn't work.
One enemy remaining.
I was gonna get taken down before Scary trades it out. Spots out 𝗔𝒂𝒄, who gets aggressive to reposition. 20 HP remained in that duel, and he manages to land the headshot. I like how that was played. 2 players towards that long side. Like you said, the bait out from 𝗔𝒂𝒄, and then of course 𝗔𝒂𝒄 playing support for 𝗔𝒂𝒄 in case they did decide to push that sewer side. Now it's going to be an economic disadvantage. This could potentially launch Alter Ego to that 11-9 scoreline, but hey, those Buckies worked before. They could work again.
Don't curse it, Simo. Don't curse it. I think they'll be a little bit more careful about where they're pushing into now, knowing the kind of buy they're up against, knowing the capability of the Bucky. Is he right-click classicing down long? Has he lost his damn mind? Scary's managed to get a 1-for-1 trade with just a Spectre. The Bucky not dealing enough damage there. 𝗔𝒂𝒄 quick and dashing out before the alarm bot deals the vulnerability, rather, not the invulnerability. That would be a bit of a ridiculous ability to give to your teammate or your opposition. Flash was perfect. Great kill. Great start. Back into the 3v3. Long's being held over towards A by the Bucky up close. Oh, if 𝗔𝒂𝒄 swings, that could have been a free kill. He has no way to deal with the Phoenix.
Here.
Knows he's there, and he knows that there's a player supporting, but what they don't know is the flank. We'll see how he plays this. Shot's gonna be good. He knew that there was a player there, but the Killjoy's escaped now.
One enemy
And
remaining.
now we'll see. Okay, Zeus tried to lurk. 𝗔𝒂𝒄 smelled it out, or at least was there a trip there? There had
There
to have
was.
been a trip
He
there.
broke the trip, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now they know Killjoy playing, especially after that shot. Yeah. Okay. Headshot. 11-9. A little dicey. I think a little too close for comfort, but Alter Ego, they hold their composure. And now this is a very important round. It feels like, as casters, we always say every round is super important. But this one has dire repercussions. You lose this, you're down to a potential economic disadvantage, and you're sitting at match point for the team on the other side, on the attack. So, overtime, they need this one. If Zeus, looking at you, control that orb down long, get that Hunter's Fury, use it to try to find some sort of pick, some opening pick, use the support there from the Jet as well. Looks like nobody's peeking, so that orb should be free. Let's see if they play around it. Nope, he's walking away. Walking away. Okay.
Again, it's these small decisions. They can cost you games. Having that ult up is so valuable. We've got an ult pop. We've got to run through and a run back as Phoenix just gets completely wrecked. Both players spotted out. They'll now move back. I wonder if anyone will take the ult orb. Maybe the Phoenix. This late on in the game, maybe not the best idea to give it to him, but after he's just used, we'll see. Probably no one will take it. Zeus opens on into bottle. No flank play for him. Zeus with another. This is ridiculous. He's just taken one outside of A, flicked over, and deleted middle. Now, in a 5 versus 3, what do you do? If you're Alter Ego, I don't know that there's an easy answer to that.
You're right. There isn't. I'm still a little upset that that ult orb is still standing. Does anyone want it? Anyone? Any takers? Considering there's 30 seconds left, the correct call for overtime to really rotate over. But now it's a 3v3. Things are a little bit more doable. With 30 seconds left, they have to get that spike down. Spike is at least going... Sorry, the smoke is going to at least allow it for the time being. Now the swing, the trade. Zeus will find 3 in the round. Now it's just Frizz. Oh my goodness. Lamie Moore with the bait. They knew that there was a player from Hell, especially with how Zeus fell. But such a great position for Frizz to be in, to scoop up the frags, get himself a double scoop of vanilla ice cream to really put us at match point.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream, Simo? What's your go-to? And I'm talking even designer ice cream, like.
Okay, I'm very basic, but I love vanilla ice cream.
Jesus.
But
Okay.
I also like lemon sherbet.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we are talking. I'm a bit of I like honeycomb, but the best I've ever had is Kinder Bueno. Yeah.
Kinder Bueno ice cream. I gotta give that a whirl. Wow.
It was amazing.
Wait, is that another nano swarm? Wow, that is really delaying the process here. But the wall, as it goes up, it's definitely going to be a Kinder surprise in and of itself. Long enough to be a bueno, but surprised enough to be a Kinder. Frostmine deep in the B site finds Zeus. His father's not going to be too happy about that, and neither will Juju's, as he's going to fall next on the docket. 2 players remain, and they are really just scratching at where and how they want to play this out. Pinocchio's will at least nullify those frags, but it's quickly traded, into Bottle will open up that genie and hope for one wish, and that is to win that map. Look at the man in the bottom left. The man is hyped. The man is excited, and the man for a 3-0 victory over overtime.
I love Frostmine, Berserk. They're chill. They're like, yeah, we won the map. That was cool. Bottle's just giving it, man. He's here with the full energy. That's what I like to see. But yeah, I think when you look at how that played out, it's not too much of a surprise. Close game. Okay, overtime are capable, that's for sure. But when you look at Alter Ego, they've just been on fire. You know, their game versus Brent, we saw Haven 13-8, and that was their worst map, actually, because Bind was 13-4. They demolished, and that's what kind of scares me, is that I feel like that's a pocket pick for them straight away. If they lose a game, if they have to pick a map, we're going to Bind, and that's them right back into it. So for me, I almost need to see this be a 3-1 in favor of overtime before I have any faith. Like, if one of these next 2 maps gets picked up by Alter Ego, I don't know where it's going to go. Well, I do. Alter Ego will win, probably.
Yeah, I think right now, more than ever, the 3-0 is in the highest realm of possibility. That was the map that overtime needed to win. It was the map that they were the most comfortable with. It's the map they picked. So now we're moving on to a world where I believe that was the map that they picked. But now they have to pick something that they hopefully are as comfortable on Haven. As Haven. And I don't really know what that would be. Bind, of course, that's dangerous territory. The Sharks are in the water. And we'll get to that map, Vito, when we do. Let's have a look at the stats and really still break down the map that we just had before I get too far ahead of myself. We got to slow the roll there, Simo. Berserk and Frizz. Frizz, man. Yeah, I get it. Berserk did great. But I was super impressed with Frizz in those late round clutches. He did a phenomenal job with keeping the team afloat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just pulling them out of absolutely nowhere in some of these situations. And I think at the same time, I got to give massive props to Zeus. He put us all in and had... The sad thing is, you know, that 1v3, he almost had it. It was also some major mistakes. Like, I don't know what Frizz was doing there when they had the 3v1 over on C side. He just, like, jumped out in the open, lined up with his teammate. It was really unusual. But all in all, I'm game on game. I think Berserk has been the most consistent Jet in this tournament. Like, he seems to just be so reliable in the role, and it's something that we'll mention it again and again. How if you're playing a Jet, you're playing a Reyna, you're not bringing that much value to your team. You have to frag. You have to be the one doing the damage, and that's just not something that most players are capable of. But Berserk, it seems natural to him to be the one leading the charge in those frags, to be dashing into sites, opening it up, and successfully doing so. Like, it's not like he's getting traded. He is when he dies, sure, but he doesn't die that much. That's the problem.
He looks so young too. Like, he's just probably one of those people that like picked up the game and was just initially so good. I look at players like Asuna and Dicey on 100 Thieves that resemble that same impact, and soon to be in EU, lots of different players that just pick up the game for the first time, don't have CS background, don't have a Crossfire background, and just come into this FPS and just dominate based on, you know, being so malleable and being so teachable, and just pick up the game like it's like riding a bike. And for Berserk, he kind of feels like that player for me. I don't claim to know how old he is. He looks young just based on his picture, and I'd like to think that that's really how his kind of play style is, or it's based around his innate ability to be good at games at such a young age. But I don't really think, I think the main and most important thing to kind of wrap up before we throw to a break is that this kid's not stopping anytime soon. Berserk was popping off through the entire knockout stage. And the fact that he came to play here today, right now, that means that those next maps are still going to be just as difficult. He's still going to be there. It's not like he's going away. It's not like he's going to randomly get a wrist injury in the middle of this map. He's still going to be an absolute beast. That's a problem for overtime.
It absolutely is, yeah. As we said, there's a map of fallback on the bind where we'll see Alter Ego feel like the stronger team, like the favored one. You've got the fact that individually, I think they're just a little bit ahead, and they even had some sloppy rounds here that Overtime couldn't take it across the line. So this is the danger zone. But Overtime get to choose the next map. We'll find out what that is after this short break. So stay tuned for map number 2 of this best of 5 grand final.
No more. Put down.
One enemy remaining. Attackers win.
Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We are ready to roll with the second map of the best of finals here at the AOC Masters with, of course, your boys, Mitch and Simo. We're ready to get into the action. I think, we've just had a little bit of an upsetting one for overtime. They came close on their map pick, their best map. I think their best chance to really get one on the board. And sure, it was close. It's a good sign. But from here, things really go downhill. I think this is where 𝗠𝘀𝘀 start to really flex their muscles in terms of their depth of their map pool and their dominance within the region.
Oh, sorry. Apologies. I pulled a Mitch. I pulled a McBride.
You did.
I pulled a Mitch man. That's okay though. I feel like we got map beat already. Just forget I said anything. Mitch, you heard it all. That's all that matters. All that matters is that you heard it. That's all that matters to me. I'm chilling. I'm vibing. Maps. Give me some maps. Let me know where we're going. Let me see it. Let me feel it.
What I will say is that Simo was basically just saying that he completely agrees. He's signed away his life to me. I'm in full ownership now, so I can do what I want. Appreciate that. We've got it on record. It's all good to go. So, talking about maps, the pick of OT, it goes. I don't think they could have picked a worse map. I'll be completely honest. This is Bind's strongest from what we've seen in this tournament so far. They absolutely bodied Bren 13-4. On Bind. I don't know what they're thinking, I'll be honest.
This is going to be one of those demoralizing maps, I think, for overtime. If it is going to be some sort of amazing victory here, it would have to be off of the back of Pinocchio's and Juju. We saw how crazy they can be. And I think it was up against Todek that they lost on Bind. So even in some of the maps that they have played in this knockout stage for overtime, they haven't had the most positive success on Bind, despite showing good set strategies. But we know that 𝗠𝘀𝘀 are just so good on this map, and they've been so good on this map. Pinocchio's on the Raze, Juju's still running that Jet. Lemimore to bottle on the Phoenix. That's going to be an interesting adaptation. That is definitely new for this map.
So, okay. We've seen Reyna before, but he's gone for the Phoenix, and that's thrown me off. That's confused me. Now, look, he's a very solid player. He likes to get involved in early duels. Maybe he's feeling it today and wants to really show up on an individual level. I respect it. Whether or not we're going to see the benefit of that, I guess, remains to be seen. But his Reyna wasn't terrible. It wasn't something that I would be crying about seeing come out again, even. But I really like his Sage, and I think it applies a lot on this map. You can do a lot with Sage. Either way, we're jumping on into the game, and you can see at the moment over on the attacking side, overtime will start, and that's because 𝗠𝘀𝘀 get to choose sides because overtime chose the map. Honestly, I prefer 𝗠𝘀𝘀 on the attack. So we'll see what they can get up to here. They get off to a good start.
One of the things that I've always wondered about side selection is, do you want the side that you're better at first, or do you want to save it to the second half and risk losing, Remember, you're so confident that you're not going to lose as many, right? Looking at this aggressive push from Berserk in towards A short, he's waiting for someone to walk through the smoke. I like that he backs away. He got the intel. Right? We still don't know if anybody's there. It's possible that they are, but nobody pushed the smoke.
And this is going to be a nice and slow one, really, from overtime. You can see they're spread out in those defaults. They're waiting for some opportunities to come their way, and they just might with 𝗠𝘀𝘀 coming up through Bathroom. This is where the Classic can do a lot of damage, but he's being baited. He doesn't know it. Right click goes in. Berserk now low, tries to create some space and distance between him and his opposition. 𝗠𝘀𝘀 obviously playing without the Sage. You can't get that health heal back up.
Nice Molly, too. That's what I was saying nice to, but even nicer headshot as to Bottle will trade it out. That Molly's still there, and they've got Raze, of course, that can blast back over the fire and the flames, the hot coals on the ground, down to the 2v4. Things are not looking great here for 𝗠𝘀𝘀. Yep, there's a player behind the Tetris. They've got a crossfire set up, but the only cross they'll feel is the one on their grave. First round going to overtime.
First round swings their way. And, you know, if you're overtime, you want to get off to a good start here. You want to really flex some dominance in the early stages. And I think they've got the chance to, if they can continue and get some pace up, to really come through with a good scoreline. The problem for me is when they swap to the defense, I can just see them getting demolished. And this is where the benefit that Alter Ego have is the fact that they've beaten all these stronger teams. They know they're good at this map. They've now gotten a good map pick out for them. But I want to start to think about it. Did Overtime maybe have a look back at the games? Do they know how Alter Ego like to run it? Is that why we see a flex up to the Phoenix? Are they pushed out of their comfort zone? I think I might be... It's a little bit of wishful thinking, really, that that's what's going down. But we'll discover whether the fairy tale can come true in just a little bit. That drone comes back, but oh no, let me more! He's already answering him with the bookie. Swings for more and gets a triple. Middle is his.
Man.
Middle is theirs in overtime. Oh, they're falling apart in the second round of all things.
As a Vandal in the hands of Juju's, he can still get a 5-piece here, but it's going to be very difficult with the defense starting to hunt them down. First pick going to come easy, but he's down to minuscule HP level. Zeus, quite far from his compadre, only as a ghost, has heavy armor. He's about to get into an engagement and lose it. Juju's may want to save this weapon. Spike, of course, they know where it is. There's still an ult torb that can be grabbed, and Tabato's going to hear it. Oh, no, unless he doesn't.
30 seconds
But Juju's, he hears some action. There's the curveball. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful, and that is honestly the worst case scenario. You just lost the Vandal. You just lost everything. Took the car, took the house, took the kids. They just took it all.
They really did. I mean, the fact that it's a bookie that basically loses them the round as well. Obviously, we know it to be a capable gun. We're not dissing it in any way in that respect. But the problem is more so the fact that he's able to walk down mid. He had support. He had 2 players with him, but it didn't matter. They weren't even needed. They didn't even get to see an opponent until the bodies were hitting the floor. And that they certainly did. This is the worst way it could have started, really. You win the pistol, you get a little bit of hope, and then all of a sudden it's just stolen out of your hands. It's like, what's worse, not getting an ice cream or getting an ice cream, and as soon as it's in your hand, the ice cream falls off the cone to the floor, you know? I know which one of those is worse. Although, you know, that only compromises one side. You could get down on the floor, you know, cut off the bottom bit. It's salvageable. It's salvageable if you're quick enough.
But you're already demoralized.
Yeah, exactly. You've lost a bit of your
especially if you're a germaphobe, you're feeling like those germs are just invading the entire ice cream, you know? You know, the melted bits, you're just lost. Well, currently overtime, they're not feeling as lost as they managed to get the spike down. At least those credits are going to come through, but now it really boils down to, can they survive? Scary's going to find one and an upgrade towards that elbow side. Player towards, of course, now Hookah somehow sneaks in behind him. Lava's going to find that one as he's a little bit more surprised in the push forward. Scary with a third. Down to Frizz. It seems like a thrifty answer back, and it is. Scary with the upgrade. Going to find 4 on the round. And it seems like that ice cream is not melted quite yet for overtime.
Well, they've managed to pick it back off the ground, scrape off the dirt on the bottom, and they're just going to town on it. It is gone at this point. We'll be seeing it again in a few hours. So for overtime, 2-1. I don't even want to delve into what this does to your mentality game. I think we could get a podcast of psychologists on to have a discussion around that, and we still wouldn't get a finite answer. That's just the nature of the business. With a 2-1 scoreline either way, it puts them back in the driver's seat, but you can see that Alter Ego are not letting go of it just yet. They're keeping a hold on the reins. Because they've got a little bit of extra cash to spend. Lemmy Moore's gone in for the Sheriff, while the others have got the Vandal. And you can see Berserk swapping between Vandal and Phantom. And that's something I found interesting about this region, is that we seem to have massive preference for the Vandal. Whereas in Europe, there's a couple of teams that are Vandal central. I know, for example, FPX, 4 out of 5 of them will, or of their previous roster with Meadow, would play with the Vandal. But then you look at some other teams, like, for example, even Scream, right? The headshot machine. He uses the Phantom, and that's very counterintuitive. If you think about Scream, obviously you'd be like, oh, well, he's going to go for the AK one-tap headshot type gun, but ain't how it is. So it's interesting in this region that it's so popular.
I don't really know the exact stats of the weapons, like super specifically. Does the Phantom have higher penetration, or are they just about the same?
Let me look it up. I think the Vandal is higher pen. I'm pretty sure.
That's interesting because Phantom is used for the spray, and sometimes they'll use it for the spray, like in these little angles where there's wood, and you could still find some damage through, right? But Phantom is more of the spray handy weapon than Vandal is. But let's look at this execute. Lava from behind. Unfortunately for Frizz, gets caught with his cape down. He'll be taken down. 2 players remain. This is a pretty wrapped up round. We'll see if Mitch has an update for us. Math extraordinaire. Stat extraordinaire.
I'm scrolling through, trying to find it. Okay, no, they're the same.
Oh, they're the same.
Yeah, they're both medium wall pen.
So then that makes sense why the Phantoms just use more, like especially when you have the ability to just get those lucky shots through like a piece of wood or something. Or
I think as well with the fact that you have Omen, the Omen paranoia being so prevalent and so hard to fight against, you want to be able to use a weapon that they can't spray back at you with. So if you use the Vandal, as I was saying in one of our earlier games, if you use the Vandal, you can see the flash even when you're paranoid. But if you use the Phantom and you shoot at someone who's paranoid, they cannot see the flash or the tracers. It's just bullets hitting them. So it's much harder to return fire on. And the same thing goes for spraying through smokes, through cages, through all that sort of stuff. You can follow tracers for Vandal, but you can't do it for the Phantom. Plus, higher clip if you're going to go for sprays. Plus, it's easier to spray control. And I remember having the discussion with Angel. Funnily, right after this discussion, he went back to playing the Vandal. But he said that with the Phantom, it's essentially the same. Because if you hit the first shot headshot, you will kill them. Because you'll have the gun kick, and you should be able to spray down one bullet into the chest. But then again, the other side of it is that if you're playing range, like say C long on Haven, you don't have any drop off on the weapon, or basically none for the Vandal. So it makes sense to use that, considering one tap headshot and no damage drop off. So a lot of levels to it. I guess that's why personal preference comes into it.
Looking at this round, a lot of space is about to be gathered with a showstopper, or not. Or that's just 7 ult orbs gone down the drain. Pinocchio's going to find Frizz on the other side of Tetris, and really the defense is here. In fact, you've got an aggressive A short position, so really this Showers threat, it's not really a threat at all. And the smoke towards that Heaven side, yep, it's not a threat either, because the player's already outside on the opposite side of the smoke. Zerk, though, is going to have to get to a little bit of a safer spot, as I think he might hear something, or he might feel something, that sixth sense, that 6th player in the lobby, the Spidey sense. But Alter Ego are very well equipped to handle this A-hit. It's, I think, partially why Overtime are starting to rotate over, because they're like, yeah, we hear a lot going on here. We hear shots, we hear pre-fire shots, we hear utility. Let's hit this B site.
They found my wire.
30 seconds left.
Found all the utility, apparently. The Cypher's going to be hurting for anyone to spray at through that smoke. Frostmine comes around towards the back of Elbow. He's got lots of support. His Overtime, but they look to take this map control as well. 2 players coming in, but the Paranoia doesn't hit! And so a quick double from Frostmine shuts them down. Ult popped, but by the time it activates, everyone's dead. That was quick. That was clean. And Alter Ego, they're looking damn mean.
You can also see that Alter Ego there, despite looking damn mean, they're also looking a little nervous. Like, committing those 2 ultimates, the Orbital Strike and the Neural Theft one, bodies were dropping left and right. You could tell that they were really willing to commit a lot to win that round, just to be safe on the extra side, to secure it. Now they won't have that, of course, and they'll try to do the heavy lifting with their own prowess to tie us up 3-3, but still have to say, very impressed with how that elbow play worked out for Frostmind and his ability to just convert so much for his team.
It was all down to that Paranoia being missed as well, though. Like, if that connects, he's dead, or at least forced back. But now he takes the map control that they were exclusively seeking to take. It a really unfortunate circumstance in a way, but Just how it goes, right? You miss a paranoia, it can cost you the game or the round. We'll see about the game as we continue it on. One paranoia. Ah, you lose the game. GG. Go on.
Yeah, yeah, GG.
But yeah,
Oh, that's AAA.
Well, they missed a few paranoias, missed a few maps, but they still got the win. So fair play. Because Brenner interested in winning less money in the tournament. Interesting fellows. For overtime, you can see their aggression is going to be centered towards B. They tried to sell a bit of an A fake. It didn't really work. There's still 2 players here, but Pinocchio's, he's behind 𝗔𝗢𝗖. Bloke had no idea there was someone behind on the blast pack plays. You'd love to see it.
3 members strong going to come in from the defender side, and of course, I'd imagine overtime are going to have nightmares about the elbow play, so they're going to back away. Oh, Pinocchio's throwing one up and over, but guess who's coming in from behind? It's Frostmind. Dude's going through. Well, anticipation is no longer a problem if he's dead. 𝗔𝗢𝗎 and Frizz just really divide and conquering. There's a couple of more generals still left on the site. There is the pesky soldier still left in hookah down to the 1v1. Juju's. Holy smokes, you thought that was definitely going to teeter to the side of 𝗏𝒐𝒀𝒄, but they hold on fast. Put their faith in Juju, and he responds. He delivers.
That he does. In Juju, we trust. Overtime, we're saying. I do feel like, considering the fact that overtime are putting this much of a fight in, it's inspiring in a way. But there's always a but. Attack side 𝗏𝒐𝒀𝒄. Oh, it's just going to be too good. I want to see overtime hit 8 rounds. I want to see them have that comfort zone so that the next half can swing their way. To me, anything less than that, and they're in trouble. It will require a better performance from them than what we've seen so far. They're on track, though. That's for sure. 𝗏𝒐𝒀𝒄 and A have pushed up in bathroom. They've got the control. They've seen nobody's there. Interestingly, though, they just fall back. They don't start a rotate or anything like that. It's taken quite a while. You rarely see that kind of reaction. Take advanced control. Don't see anybody play passive. Not too sure what's going on there.
Isn't this the eco? I feel like they might be trying to play close, especially with the knives, and those knives won't really come through. Is that a Vandal on the ground or Stinger? I think it's this. I'm not even really sure what round this is, but Frizz definitely knows what round it is, and so does 𝗔𝗢𝗖. You look at you look at that passive setup play towards the A side. Guess who's Oh wow! He even catches him unprepared. Like he's baking the cake and he's only halfway through. The eggs still need to be battered up together. He's still got to throw the butter in there and the milk. He still catches him. Of course, it is refragged by lava. Now, of course, the heat is going to continue to be applied towards this A side. Spike is now down, and it is ticking. 2 players going to be dividing, conquering their way through the heaven side. Frostmind Spray I thought was going to do a little bit more damage, but Scary's going to survive that quite handily. Pushes forward. Oh, 𝗔𝗢𝗖𝗏! Holy smokes. Now he's got the run it back as well. He might have even had it before, but regardless, huge clutch for 𝗏𝒐𝒀𝒄. Gonna put them 1 inch closer to tying us up.
I don't think I've ever seen balls that big. I really don't. That is like, you know, is it Chicago? They have the big shiny ball. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's a bean. Big shiny bean.
Well, they're at least that size. That was ridiculous. And I just ran through a cipher cage, pre-firing, then ran back through it, pre-firing. That's ridiculous. I get all the info just in his brain. He knew what was going on. He had the read. That was unreal. What a clutch. It's a bottle. Man, I may question the rate of play yesterday. Well, you play Phoenix all you want. Although he could have done that with any agent. Oh, maybe don't play Phoenix. He whiffed the flash completely. Almost cost him his life. Frostmind coming in with 2. 𝗔𝗢𝗖 falls, but Frostmind, he's still alive. Gets that reload on. Yeah, Zoop's caught in the open reloading. 𝗏𝒐𝒀𝒄 takes the second player first. He takes all 3. Fair enough. This dude's unbelievable.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a different story. If 𝗔𝗢𝗖 actually lands the flash like he's supposed to. I think he got stuck right in like a corner of a smoke. And then that push down B short would have really stopped that play. I mean, it doesn't even matter. The round still goes to the favor of 𝗏𝒐𝒀𝒄. And we're tied up. So you would have loved to see 8 rounds. Still possible, but now a little bit less likely because they got to win 4 in a row. Lost bonus in a little bit of a tough spot. If overtime lose this one, not everyone's going to have those fresh Jordans on the first day of school. Some of them are going to have Vans. Some of them are going to have DC. But that's okay because 𝗔𝗀𝗖, he's going to have the Jordans. He's got all different colorways. He's got 2 picks in B short to open up this round. Now things are starting to fall apart a little bit for overtime.
It is falling apart slightly. As I said, I want to see them up on 8 rounds, and the chances of that seem to be very, very slim. They need to win this one out flawlessly. And Frostmind, well, he's not able to stop them from doing that. 3 versus 4, it's getting more and more doable by the second. But again, still wishful thinking. They're spread out on overtime. 1 minute remaining, grouping up towards the B site. 2 players to push into hookah and 1 through long. They'll have a recon dart up to clear the back of the site, but it's 𝗔𝗀𝗖 up close that worries me. He also still has his ultimate and could pop it for the run up on long. Although he's being checked, 𝗓𝒐 just ran out. They don't even have control of hookah, and he's sprinting into elbow. This is not a very coordinated push. And wow, he gets away. The dash, the second kill, the spray through. Oh my word, that's ridiculous.
Oh man, that's another MVP for Berserk. Yep. Just wait, just give me the graphic now, production, because this man, what a pickup for Alter Ego. I don't know how long this guy's been on the roster. You know, I don't really know a whole lot about this region, but this is a player that I want to see more and more and more of. So very well played, and just everything works out as well. Like the recon bolt's the cherry on top. And of course the Sova player is not going to get any love for that because it's like, wow, look at this flashy jet play. But thank you. Thank you, Sova. Thank you for showing me where that last player is so I can get the beautiful 3K.
The play, or the final kill is impossible without him. 𝗔𝗀𝗖, this guy, just, it's ridiculous at this point. The ult pop, he runs through, he takes kills, he absolutely frags like an animal. And now it's down to a 5 versus 2, and I mean, there just seems to be nothing that they can do over on the overtime side, and I think that's really just underlined by the fact that we've just had a flawless round come through from Alter Ego. This is their map, this is their home turf, and now we're seeing exactly why you don't want to face them on Bind.
I mean, we highlighted it when we saw that map veto come in. I know that to some, I'm going to be honest, it might seem a little harsh, saying that this was probably the worst decision Overtime Esports could have done. But now you're seeing why. There's a little bit of truth to our predictions. This is a map that Alter Ego are just really darn good at. There's nothing that can be said. It's just the facts. It's not opinion. It's facts. And when we get over to that attacking side, things are going to get a little bit more difficult for overtime. 𝗔𝗎𝒻 opens up with a great pick, spraying through the smoke. Another pick does get answered back by Scary on 𝗔𝗀𝗖. That's a great opening pick, though. We have to highlight that because 𝗔𝗀𝗖 has been an absolute nuisance round after round. 𝗔𝗎𝒻 is also down. Frostmind going to really hold the line on that B side. So this hold, can it stick here for Alter Ego?
It's a question we're here to answer, and we'll find out in just a second. As Berserk, he gets the headshots, but no kills. Both players so low. It should be an easy conversion. Overtime, having to come back from this, but 𝗓𝒐 with a quick headshot, regardless of HP. If you get those headshots in with the Vandal, it doesn't matter. Shock Dart, perfectly positioned, does some damage, takes some armor off his opponent. The push forward, being covered for just a moment. Hunter's Fury is online. They'll look to play with it, considering their health is so low. Time is of the essence, especially with Hunter's Fury online. Moving forward to try and get that defuse for the Cypher is going to be really difficult. Juju should be the first to bait it out, but Frostmind, well, he moves straight in towards the bathroom. He wants to pressure this Sova. He's running out of time, though. He's going to go back. He's going to tap this spike, and that's when the Hunter's Fury, I expect, will be popped. Now they're going to wait for the first peek at Juju's. Let him get halfway, potentially. He's up close now. They're just holding it. That's it. It's done. They've won it. There's no way this one goes to Frostmind. He's got to get out of there. He's going to try to save. He's going for the TP, and Juju shuts him down. What a recovery. I really did not think that round would go to overtime.
Yeah. Now it boils down to this one. A little bit of a tough spot for Frizz, hoping that this round will not be a tough spot. Going to be a gun round across the board. 𝗔𝗎𝒻 somehow sitting at 9,000 credits, flaunting his cash and dangling it like a carrot on a stick in front of overtime. It's an important round up and coming. be the difference between an even half or Alter Ego launching themselves into another very comfortable victory moving into that second half. For overtime, I'd imagine it's going to be difficult to defend, but we'll get to that when we get there. Early looks, peeks towards the shower side, recon bolt, and one to actually answer back, but that one's a lineup from the back of A site, which does get shot down. So they have information. There's a player towards dust. Shots being shot here from A short. So 2 players on the right side of the map and no noise whatsoever on the left, which is actually going to allow or convince Alter Ego to push up. Bottle wins the initial challenge, and yeah, it's falling apart.
Smoke's down.
Get out of my 30 seconds left.
Open up the sky.
10 seconds left. Last player standing. One enemy remaining. Spike planted. Clutch.
I would have to agree with you. Overtime, definitely keeping that one a little too close for comfort up against Alter Ego. Don't know if we're going to get a replay of that, but really it started off a little rocky. I thought there was a moment where, okay, overtime could find themselves in like an 8-4, like a 9-3 scenario, and that's going to set them up for success in the second half. But the fact that Alter Ego will finish the positive scoreline moving into this one, you win the pistol, man, it is going to be rough moving forward off from that. So we'll have to keep our eye on how the defensive setup looks like for overtime, how they adapt to certain side hits from Alter Ego, because I think that'd be the only way. If they're able to read Alter Ego's attack, then they're sitting in a little bit more of a better position. But that is difficult to do for any team in any region.
After an absolutely astounding previous round, a 7-5, the orbital strike used so well to just close them out. This is where the problems can start to develop. We're looking at overtime behind. They need the pistol. They start with a B long push, and it gets them control. Scary. Poking out, seeing 2 players. Paranoia being held, but he realizes now's not the time. Puts a one-way smoke up instead to deter any pushes while that flank is underway. If he can keep them in position... Oh, 𝗂𝗏𝗏, he snuck out. I didn't even notice, and neither did overtime. A massive gap in the defense. This is allowing now for the site to be overrun and overtaken, but there's 2 coming behind. Scary, in with a double. Here's the flank about to be executed. And executed he was. Zeus gets taken down, but they have no idea about the second player, and that's where the real problems come into effect. 𝗂𝗏𝗏 able to connect one. The flank, though, this is what it's all about. It's all about the jet. The 1 versus 3. 𝗔𝗢𝗖 gives away his position. Swings to look for more. A player towards bathroom and a player in hookah. Lamps, excuse me. He knows where both are, but he's not aware of the reposition. Now the player behind him, the swing and the shot. Frizz closes this one out for Alter Ego. That was a messy pistol.
Definitely messy indeed, and I thought 𝗔𝗢𝗖 was going to come up huge. He was in a great position on the flank, finds the first initial pick. But in those flank scenarios, I think the biggest problem always becomes you're not timed and you're not coordinated well with the rest of your team, right? Like 𝗔𝗢𝗖 felt like he came late, right? Everybody backside was falling apart. Scary was just trying to hold on to lamps while 𝗔𝗢𝗖 was rotating over, but just not enough of that timing lined up together to have 𝗔𝗢𝗖 have a bigger impact on retaking that site. Now it's going to be the force up for Alter Ego. Should be around they win, but there are shorties, I think, on the opposite side of this hookah play, and the Owl Drone's about to catch that out. They push in. Mimor is going to feel it at the back of his head. Hopefully he doesn't wake up with a concussion. Now it's the 4v4. They push in. They know that there's players in hookah. And this actual Vandal reposition for 𝗔𝗏𝗏 is going to benefit this hit because now he can just hold the line here and throw some of his utility over.
That util going out. 𝗔𝗏𝗏 gets the kill on the Jujus. It's a valuable frag to have. The damage tickling from afar with these weaker weapons, but good enough to find frags as 𝗔𝒃 finishes off Pinocchio's. A recon in confirms the player is in hookah. He gets spotted out by the cam as well. Not actually tagged by it. Must have already used it. Frostmine. He connects it to Scary. A little bait as well by 𝗔𝒃 in that instance. Jumps up, dashes away. And at that point, you get the swing out from Frost. I really like the coordination in that round. That's something that I feel like we've just seen so much of from Alter Ego, and something they excel in versus some of the other teams in the region.
Yeah, like, I know that 𝗔𝒃 is playing a very evident, very obvious duelist style of playing Jett. But when you see flashes of supportive Jett, you love to see it. You really do. You really do.
That's it. The whole time you're going to be basically getting set up by your teammates, right? So nice every now and then to be like, no, you know what? This time I've got you. That shock dart actually hits 𝗔𝗏𝗏. It's his teammate. Scary. In with a double. That's huge work being done. Now we're looking towards a 4 versus 2. The ult of Phoenix already used up. Big commitment towards this round. Frizz tries to pull it back, but his teammate falls. And a 1v3 is needed. Now, he can go through TP, but he doesn't want to. He wants to take the fight on the site, and the swing for Jujus, well, it was just right. That's 9-6. Overtime still trailing by a bit. And one round, one big play. Scary's been pretty good this whole series long, but how much longer can you keep up these individual performances?
Yeah, and in maps previous, we've seen Jujus and Pinocchios actually play quite well. Zeus having performances here and there, but it really has been Jujus kind of leading that charge for overtime. To see Scary kind of come up to fruition is a little surprising, but you know, I think this is a decently well-rounded team. Well-rounded enough against Alter Ego. That is kind of the question of the series. Looking at the peek in towards hookah side, they don't get spotted yet. lememore with the first initial pick. Now Pinocchio is on the run. Angel's going to at least buy him some time to fight this dual 1v1 so the rest of the team can't support. Now they start to come through. Shots are going to be good. At least they're going to find two. But this Odin, man, this Odin. Zeus acting like a turret. Spraying down straight through. Sees and shoots on sight. One player remaining. I like how Alter Ego decided to eco this round. I think there was a possibility for them to have a gun round. Sometimes you see that conversion come through, but maybe the economy just didn't allow for it.
It's a waiting game, really, isn't it? When's he going to move? When's he going to get dropped? No matter which side he goes towards, there's either players waiting for him or a whole host of utility. Rotate from Scary towards A. Makes sense. More angles to cover. Zeus in the open. He's 5 HP. 5 health. If he was spotted going into that corner, a shock dart could come through, but I don't think he was. The sneak down. He's made it stealthy. Does he check the post? Right, he does, but not in time. And Zeus with the Odin. Perfect combination, really.
Yo, yes. Ironically carrying his father. Or is it the other way around? I'm not too well versed on Greek mythology. But yeah, you saw even Frizz do kind of like the double take. He's like, it kind of reminds me of that meme. It's at this moment that he knew. He hooked up.
You know, also, Odin and Zeus are both the kind of, they're from different deities. They're both like the dads.
Oh,
Zeus is Greek and Odin is
Norse. Norse.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Now I'm following.
I got confused for a second. I was like, wait, one's the sun? What's happening?
So that's why I said I'm not well versed. Okay, not too.
Well, in fairness, you did say it. You did say it. I gotta say though, you know, I want to see a close series. I really do. It feels like though the ball is just starting to get rolling, right? It's picking up some momentum. The velocity, the vectors are dialed in, and this is where Alter Ego just start to turn that snowball into an avalanche. I don't know if that's how that works. I've never been around snow, but I'm guessing if you like roll a snowball down a big enough hill with a shelf of snow that isn't balanced, maybe you could call, you know what, butterfly across the Atlantic Ocean, all that sort of stuff. That's what I'm getting at. It makes sense in my head. Alter Ego. Looking in towards the B site. This is where they want to make that avalanche happen. And there's the shot by Juju straight away. Dash didn't really get him much, but the shot certainly did.
Yeah, I wonder what was the reason or what was the call to rotate over. 𝗔𝒃 gets up and over. He does get traded away quickly, but 𝗔𝗎𝗄 burns Zeus alive to a crisp. Gods don't die to the flame. Here comes the orbital strike on their own site, but it gives them some space to plant. I don't think this might be the correct call. I don't quite know, because Scary actually pushes it fearlessly, and Frostmind's going to be taken down. 𝗔𝗎𝗄 will also fall. Scary absolutely putting on an insane performance. But guess who's lurking in the shadows? It's 𝗔𝗏𝗄. Swaps to the Vandal. Oh, he sees a ball! The 𝗔𝗏𝗄 with the clutcheroo puts Alter Ego up to 10, and they'll lead by 3.
Again and again, these things just seem to surprise us. These players, they're capable of so much, and 𝗔𝗏𝗄 in particular. We saw the Phoenix previously. We knew it was capable of a lot. It's just proving it again and again. Hammering home the point. See what more he can do, because he's 1 point away from that ultimate. Once he gets run it back, 𝗔𝗏𝗄 will be a different beast entirely, but this isn't going to start with him looking for ult charges or ult orbs. Why would it? Never does. Instead, it's going to be the push in towards the A site. An aggressive ult by 𝗔𝒃, but he gets shut down by Scary. Paranoia through, but they've rotated. They're going through the TP. They don't want to mess with that bookie. But what they will have to mess with is Zeus and the ultimate in play. Here it comes. 1, 2, but here goes the swing. No one looking at him. No one was looking at him already. Doesn't matter though. 𝗔𝗎𝗄 has picked up a double one with his Molly Frizz in with his own, and all of a sudden 3v2. It's been messy. It's been wild. But over time, they've got to pull it back.
There's a pinch happening as well. Scary finding that frag. It's traded away from the Jet lurking through B short. Flash comes through. Lava trying to at least buy time for Scary to get there. He is going to find a frag onto Frostmind, but it's a 1v2 doable for Scary. We know Scary to be, well, Scary. He's really a difficult player to find in these 1v2s, but they're playing together. I love it. Now the sprays come through. Cat and mouse game between 𝗔𝗎𝗄 alongside his Phoenix and Scary, and they play that masterfully. 11-7. Flip that around and you have a beautiful convenience store, but at the moment, overtime aren't feeling too convenient, being down 4 rounds. Will this be another one? We'll see. Op in hand, Odin in hand, weapons online. This is your round, overtime.
Around indeed. We'll see. I mean, I'm always going to side with the Odin. Every time best come in the game. Glad to see it coming out. But run it back. Run it back some play. That's where the problem started to develop. Okay, 2 opening duels. That's exactly what we need. There goes the Hunter's Fury. It actually tags up 𝗔𝗏𝗄. He's pushing forward. He's inside the cage. Shot at random. And look at this. One after another, they're connecting. Frizz, sure, he manages to take out Scary, but 𝗔𝗏𝗄 caught in the open. The flash now connecting. Leaves a 2v4 to play with. Shot again by Juju's. That's a 3rd kill. Looking for 4, and somehow misses. That's a haircut for Frizz. He got it for free, but the round's going to cost him a whole lot more. He has to get 3 frags to close this out. Nowhere near his ult, having just popped it and gotten a kill. This would be an ace clutch, actually.
Frizz all by himself. Fortunately, his alter ego on the opposite side is about to throw a recon bolt. He does get tagged, so as long as they play together, they should be able to take him down. Here comes the first swing from Frizz. Oh, he gets tagged. Yep. Yeah. Overtime. They'll trail by 3. This is now an opportunity for them with alter ego with what looks to be on the soft buy to narrow, close that gap. Odin's still up, Operator's still up, and as long as those are available, overtime can continue to pressure with those aggressive Juju angles.
ticking away for overtime. You do see those aggressive angles being held. What I love about it is Pinocchio's there to support. First one, the shot from 𝗔𝗢𝗖, then Pinocchio swings, maybe giving away the hand a little bit too early though. Nade into effect, it does damage but no kill. Ultimate taken down by the operator, but that's a shot basically wasted. Zeus able to eliminate 𝗔𝒍𝒂, who was low HP, trying to dash to site. Two players known to be here. What do they do though? How do they handle this? There's smokes in play. They can pop down that execute and get fully in, but Lemmy Moore, he's shut down. The Zeus play on long, or I should say the Odin play, is what gets them that frag to put it back into a 2v2 though. Frizz, he ain't giving up just yet. They've got control over Hookah, and they know where at least two of these players are. Excuse me, I said 2v2. I was ignoring Cypher. Poor guy, getting neglected. He's over towards the A site. And what's important about him being alive is that his utility on A is still in play. So for now, 𝗏𝒐𝒍𝒂 don't really have a clear way back in.
They do not. 40 seconds left on the clock. Zeus in a little bit of trouble. Team is to a certain extent here. Not too far. Frizz with 1, 2v2, 20 seconds. They know it has to be this B-side hit. There's not much time left. Owl drone comes through. I like it, but I would have loved to see the Cypher jump in through with it. Instead, it's going to be the Sova that jumps in first. Spike's being planted. And now it's a 2v2 retake, especially with Scary being so slow on this elbow play, this elbow push. That's 1. Oh, that's 2. So huge for Scary. He's been such a problem for 𝗏𝒐𝒍𝒂 round after round. If there's going to be a player, if Scary doesn't get MVP, it's like somehow, some way, 𝗔𝗢𝗖 or I was about to say pistachios. If somehow Pinocchio's ends up top fragging, Scary's the MVP, even if they lose. This guy's been so crazy in bringing his team back from a really tough spot. And so far, he should be the MVP. He's projected to be, win or lose.
Had to go and make me hungry, didn't you? I want some pistachios now. Damn it. Yeah, I have to say I'm quite impressed at this point. You know, they're starting to win me over. This was a pretty poor start from overtime. It was looking like it was going to be the down and out form that we expected, and yet they've managed to fight tooth and nail for this. They're showing that this is a map that they are comfortable on. And here we go, showing that their defense is comfortable. They'll have to win this one out to do it. 3 players in towards the A site. They've been baited out, though. The ultimate into heaven. That was interesting from overtime using that. 𝗏𝒐𝒍𝒂 have transferred and looked over to... Oh, hold on. Good Hunter's Fury. It spots out 2 players. That's very valuable information. It drags a second rotate to the B site. So a 3-man stack now awaits 𝗏𝒐𝒍𝒂, who do seem a little bit lost at this point. Their strategy was slowed down. They wanted to blitz the B site. Hunter's Fury stopped them, and now they don't quite know what to do.
Except as the rotate back from 𝗔𝗢𝗖, the op could be a very important factor in the defense of this B side. No longer here. Recon Bolt about to come through, but he keeps deciding, keeps changing. The smoke, of course, is now going to allow that to come through. Here comes the tailwind. Showstopper as well. He's going to try to be cooked alive. The Showstopper does nothing, and so does Zeus as he's taken down. Pistachios or Pinocchio's back in the elbow. Can't get the shots through the smoke. Now he might start to push forward. They at least hear the cyber cage be activated there. Lava trying to peek, shoulder peek, trying to get those shots connected, but all the players are stuck in the tuna can. Pay attention to Lemmy Moore. He's gonna try to throw a stim beacon up on top of the tuna can there. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Down to 2 final players. 𝗔𝗢𝗖 with the op. You know that at least 1 more player is there. Shot's gonna connect. 1v3 though. Flash, and this should be a little bit of a problem for 𝗔𝗢𝗖. 𝗏𝒐𝒍𝒂 now sit at match point, which will catapult them into a 2-0 lead in a best of 5. That means that the next map, either Ascent or Split, it's going to have to be a good one for overtime.
Yeah, and as well, you have to remember the system, the veto system that we're in. You know, it's not like we can go, oh, well, this was 𝗏𝒐𝒍𝒂's map pick, so yada yada. We are technically, we should have already had the 2 best maps of overtime, because they got to choose both of them. No bans in play, nothing. And if that's their 2 best maps done, and now we're moving on to a 3rd, well, we're getting towards the very bottom of the map pool, having to push it all the way back. That's not ideal. And what also isn't ideal is losing a player straight away as 𝗔𝒍💂 dashes onto site and dies. A push through the smoke from 𝗔𝗢𝗖 only gets a 1-for-1 trade. It is starting to really pan out well for overtime. They've got the man advantage still.
Wow.
Frostmind. Oh, he's gotten away with it too. He's bailed out. He's got a cam up. It doesn't, well, it gets destroyed eventually. Confirms as a player in heaven. They already had that info, but Lemmy Moore, huge play. He's down below heaven. He can just wait. He's going to smoke. Oh, he's going to ult it. He's going to ult him into the open. And he just puts a paranoia down. No chance. Done and dusted. Dealt with. That was huge. That was fantastic.
Yeah, good use of the ultimate there, and paired up with Frostmind, who played that masterfully. For some reason, I thought that was a defensive player sitting on the bench, but very, very well played by Alter Ego. A little bit more of a convincing performance than what we saw on Haven, but that's what we expected. It's Bind, it's their territory, and they're not going to let overtime really step all over them in any capacity. But really, it does boil down to this potential last and final map for overtime. Can they pick the right one? They got a 50-50% chance, to pick the one that they are most comfortable with, that potentially Alter Ego is not comfortable with. It's tough. You either do your homework, your stat review, your VOD review, your map review, but you can only do so much if the other team is just better.
The funny thing here is that, I would happily say that hold on, sorry. I just took a look back at some of the other games, and man, Split is where overtime got wrecked by Todak. So I feel like Ascent is the only option. But from what we've seen, neither of these teams have played Ascent going throughout the playoffs anyways. They've completely avoided it. So I don't really know where the comfort level is going to be at, man. Like, this next map, if it's Split, that should be a very easy win for Alter Ego. If it's Ascent, I'd probably still say it's going to be an easy win for Alter Ego. Like, this is looking like it's going to be a 3-0, and it's demotivating. It's hard, but a reverse sweeps, the underdog story, I can get behind it. Maybe they can make me believe in this next one. For now, let's take a look at the stats of that game and see who is up towards the top of the scoreboard. Who was the one taking the game into their own hands? And that is, it's not nice, is it? Again, we said it the other day, you lose the game, but you're up the top of the scoreboard.
Yeah. We knew that Scary was going to be up there. His performance was just nuts. Look at his average combat score, and then the next player below him, 331, 289, and then 260. And then, of course, his next teammate, 238, which he's almost 100 combat score over. He played phenomenally. 6 plants, 2 first bloods, but really his impact was, we don't get this stat, but he kills were insane. The man was an absolute stud. We need him for overtime fans. We need him to pop off again, right? We're used to Juju's popping off. We're used to Pinocchio's popping off. Well, today it's Scary. This guy needs to come up big in the next map.
Scary, my man. It's not just him, though. It's the rest of the team that needs to show up, because 𝗔𝗢𝗖, well, he stepped out of that Sage role and moved into Phoenix, and he's looked damn good ever since. I wouldn't even say, rising from the ashes of Sage, because really Sage was perfectly good. He was playing well on Sage, but the Phoenix play, it's a whole nother level. It's a whole different game, a whole different ball game entirely. Really, I think we've painted the picture as best as we can, Simo. I think the picture's already painted. It's in front of everybody, and the question is there a deeper meaning to it? Is there something that we're missing that overtime have up their sleeve? Are they lulling their opponents into a false sense of security, giving a 2-0 lead just to snatch it back and really show them how they can play? I doubt it. Probably not. Definitely not. And the reality is, if they're making the comeback right now, as far as I understand the veto systems in these BO5s, it tends to be pick, and then reset on the 5th map. So basically, you have to play all 4 maps, and then it gets reset for the final, and the loser can pick whatever they want. So the problem is that we end up in a position where you have to play Split, and they did not look comfortable on Split versus Todak, who they then went on to beat. If Alter Ego are comfortable there, you're done for.
Yeah, and to be fair, they're comfortable on both Split and Ascent. Regardless of where we go, you just got to roll your best odds here if you're overtime. Well, we're going to roll our best odds, because I think it's Oh, rolled a 6. Time for a break. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we've got potentially the last and final map of this best of 3. Or will we see overtime go the distance? Well, the only way to find out is to be right back after this.
Shit.
One enemy remaining. Flawless. One enemy remaining. Clutch.
Eagle-eyed, cage trigger.
Open up the sky. One left standing.
Attackers win.
Next.
Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine. Let's build a dog out of sticks and twine. I can call you master, you can call me mine. Wrap me in plastic and make me shine. We can make a dollhouse, follow your design. You can call me mine.
Did it again, Simo. Did it again. You did it last time. I did it this time. We're back and forth all day. It's like a game of tennis. I was just welcoming everybody back to the AOC Masters because we're here for the grand finals. Map number 3. It's been exciting. It's been close. Both maps have been close, but it's ultimately going the way that we expected. Alter Ego, they play a nice style of Valorant that I've really enjoyed watching. They've been mixing it up, and it just seems to be too much for overtime to deal with. Now, we go into map 3. There's only 2 left. It's either going to be Split or Ascent, and really, regardless of which one of those we go to, they don't look too good for overtime. They've picked the last 2 maps, and both have gone down the drain.
Yeah, if anything, it would probably end up being Split more so than it would be Ascent. Ascent, they don't really have the greatest stat line on, boasting their most recent loss to Myth Attitude and also losing to Attack All Around at the ESL event. So for them, Split is the better option, but looking at the opposite side, it's been a lot of great wins for Alter Ego, taking maps off NXL, Zenith, Kingsman, Boom Esports, a lot of different teams at a lot of different events, and they run a Breach on Split. So there's a lot of great positives here, Mitch, and I think they're starting to sell to you at least a little bit for Alter Ego. If there's a Breach, man, Mitch is on board. But we'll have to see what that map veto looks like, because we might be throwing a curveball. Maybe it's Ascent. Maybe they've prepared Ascent for this event. And lo and behold, look, there it is. So this is going to be actually a little bit problematic for overtime. They really have to prove that they are good on this map, because as history serves, Alter Ego has taken Myth Attitude to this map 13-6, easy peasy, whereas overtime have lost to Myth Attitude 13-4 on Ascent, and that's in this tournament. Oh, sorry, not this tournament, the ESL event. But nevertheless, yeah, what are we doing on this map? I feel like Split was definitely the kind of pick here, but we'll see if overtime has something cooking.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that much different either way. Like overtime, I'm hoping this just means they've got that little bit of extra prep. They put the work in, but when it comes to Ascent, there's no way to really know based off of the recent performances and certainly within this tournament how Alter Ego are going to be approaching this. In fact, we're seeing 𝗏𝗏. This man's played Sage, and Ascent is the most picked map for Sage, or where Sage is picked the most. He's played Phoenix. Now he's moving on to a Breach. So you can see the depth of agent composition that 𝗏𝗏 brings alone. Over on Pinocchio's, again, we're seeing the same thing, the swap up over to the Breach. Definitely worthwhile on Ascent, although it's curious that it is only seemingly Ascent and Split that Breach is favored on. You will see him on pretty much every map in Europe, I presume. You know, going into the top 20, top 25 teams in North America, it's even still the same, right? So it's weird. And that's one thing I've enjoyed about Southeast Asia is that they have their own meta. They have their own approach to the game. They don't go by what we would assume is the norm.
Yeah, they develop their own norm. And to be fair, like, there's been so many Ignition Series events, I feel like you can't even look at all of them. You can't even consume them all unless you're Sideshow. He's the only person on this planet that can watch every single First Strike region and give us a full synopsis. But for particularly this instance, I think it's really positive to see that despite some of the teams that maybe haven't been running this Breach on Ascent, that we do have teams that bring in the bigger brains, the bigger thoughts, the correct way, I think, to play. And that is just not because Breach is the correct way to play, but rather the utility he provides is unmatched at the current moment. And that is why it's important to find maps where he can be input into your comp and work around the comp that you want. You want triple duelist? Okay, fine. You want to run triple sentinel? Okay, great. You want to run 2 initiator, 2 controller? Okay, do your thing. But Breach, build around him and you will not regret it.
100% agree. I think he's the one you want to go for. Even if you've got those duelists, having that extra ability to provide support for them can never hurt, and it never does hurt. We'll be jumping into this game in just a little bit. The players, as you can see, they're all setting up. The barriers are about to be lifted here in what could be the final map of the grand finals. Map number 3, ladies and gentlemen. 2 map advantage, excuse me, going to Alter Ego. Overtime have got a whole lot to prove, and we start out this pistol round. They want to get off to a good start. They've done it before and still failed to deliver in the long run. And on the attacking side of Ascent, I expect them to deliver a lot. This is where most rounds are picked up for most teams. And considering, again, that Alter Ego's attack has been pretty solid, I need big things.
Why does he have his knife out? I mean, more... Is he... He still has his... Now he's swapped over. I mean, meanwhile, 𝗏𝒍😅 is just on an absolute feeding frenzy.
One
2 picks in
enemy
towards that catwalk, and then 𝗏𝒑𝒧🬡 pushes forward. 1 player remaining, it's lava. And unfortunately, it's not going to be the floor. It's the paranoia that now causes the problem. Here's the TP, and they're just going in. Like, how do you... What? He TPs in and shoots him dead. Okay, I didn't know I was watching Kriya play. Fine, cool, sure. 2-0 start for 𝗏𝒧𝒧𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏😅 and Alter Ego win the pistol.
It's an interesting start. I guess it sets the pace a little bit for what we can expect. Mayhem, from start to finish. I'm not against it.
This goes
I'm here for a little bit of chaos, a little bit of variance in my life. Let's see if there's any variance to this second round setup from Alter Ego. See what they're going to be deploying. Is 𝗏𝒧𝒧🬏? Well, he's gotten aggressive. He's ran down middle, and then up guns and goes to bottle. He's not on his own, though. He has support. He has teammates with him, but they also fall, and it's down to a 1v2. A little bit of a disaster. They go aggressive one after another and run into a classic long range that takes them down. What is this, hazed? As it's all onto Frostmind, he's got it all to do. Sees the final player, knows where he is. Classic, though. You've got to be careful. The right click's going to be dangerous if you get too close, and Frostmind really keeps him at an arm's distance.
Okay, that was a little... I mean, this bonus round is really going to suck, but that was a little too close for comfort for Alter Ego. You definitely did not want to throw that one away. And then 𝗏𝒧🬏, you see he's opting in for the Phantom and the Vandal for 𝗏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏𝒏😂. These are expensive purchases. You're going to be looking at a potential tough spot to be in that 4th round, which normally this bonus round carries you into having enough for that 4th round gun round battle. If they can chip away at overtime here and even find themselves in a round win, I know it's obvious that it'd be great for them, but like it would be an understatement to the series that they would be pivotal, and it would really cause huge problems for overtime. Losing this round on the potential last map of the series, it would crush your spirit.
I mean, 100%. You're already down in the dumps a little bit. You're already feeling the hurt. You don't need to feel any more hurt today. Serve their time. You can move into this, though, the 3rd round. You can see the setup is definitely for a B hit because they're already charged out. They're already seizing control. And they're taking every single fight overtime. It seems to be working out. The round that they should be taking... And they do so with ease, actually, because they've barely even... Not only have they not lost a player, they've barely taken damage. This has been about as clean as you could have hoped for. The best possible outcome. Leaving 𝗏𝒧𝒧🬏 now to probably save that Phantom. I don't see him really going for it. Maybe he plays an exit on it at best, but you know you're not going to win the 1v5.
Obviously not, and I think this is probably the best angle to hold for the exits. Normally... it is difficult for the attack to feel comfortable to push the defender spawn for safety. 𝗏𝒧𝒧🬏, he's playing such a strange angle. Do they know he's there? Zeus is... I think they might have seen him, yeah. That's such a weird angle. Such a weird angle. I don't even exactly... I would have loved to see that from Zeus's perspective, but... just to see if he could actually see him, but... 3rd round conversion. Eco now for Alter Ego. Likely going to be honest, just the answer back will be tied up after this one, and then we'll see the gun round come back for Alter Ego.
It's one of the things I'd love to have some players. Excuse me. I'd love to have some players from different regions. Oh, 𝗏𝒧𝒧🬏, what? He's coming out with the right click, so close, 2 kills already. Misses the 3rd. That's a shame. Down to a 3v3. It's winnable. But it's only pistols. It's only classics for the other players. That was out of absolutely nowhere, man. He popped and he ran in and just started shredding them. They ran right into the meat grinder head first. They dove in. There was no retreat. Zeus takes down the bottle of the bank. It's the flanker dealt with. And now all down to 𝗏𝒧𝒧🬏 inside the doorway. No door to protect him. Pinocchio's finishes them off. And the point I was going to make is I'd love to have some pro players and just have a sit down to chat in certain situations, like second round you win but you lose a lot of players. Where's your investment at? Do you just take it? Do you just, because at least in CS with a similar-ish economy system, we've seen teams actually take ecos. They're 2-0 up, and but they've lost too many weapons in the previous that they know they can either have a weak investment and then an eco, or they can just take an eco now, give that round over to their opposition, try to take a couple weapons out. So like you play classics, close range, shorties, whatever, and then buy. So like that's the kind of play that I'd love to see from a team, or I'd love to see experimented with, but I feel like we haven't gotten there. Teams kind of say, oh, well, I'm 2-0 up, therefore I'll buy, so I can go 3-0 up, because I want to keep winning rounds. So, yeah, sometimes it's better to actually concede one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with you there. That's what I've always found interesting about the economy. Teams love winning the pistol, but then you lose the momentum. It's a little strange. It's a little odd. But, you know, you usually see that third round conversion anyway. The weapons are just better. This is probably the important round for 𝗏𝒐. This is a defender-sided map, so it's important for them to find and start to find some success. 8-4, 9-3. Most ideal would be 10-2, but 10 rounds in a row. Difficult, especially after you lose to Bottle. To a mid-round lurk through Catwalk, and the Rolling Thunder is actually rolled out, and unfortunately for Juju's, he gets caught, but it's the fake. I like this. Rolling Thunders are so easy to sell the fakes to, and it's all down to 𝗏𝒏. He's going to be holding that off angle as they push in. Ages come down, and unfortunately the ADS doesn't help him out, so now the rest of the team needs to retreat and come back over to the site and help retake, because of course there is also a breach. Lemimore's in an interesting spot, loses the duel. Now 𝗏𝒅K is also looking for that breach player and does find him. 3v3 retake for 𝗏𝒏.
The drone trying to spot people through the trees, but as it's doing so, Frostmind, and he falls to the ultimate. This is now a 2 versus 3. The man advantage for overtime. They've got a player to trade out on Scary, but he's not in position. He had an arrow in hand. That's a free kill now, untradeable. But low HP on 𝗏𝒏, low HP on both. But 𝗏𝒏 comes in with one. They're splitting the final, and 𝗏𝒏 trades it. Perfectly handled. A 3K and a third round for 𝗏𝒏.
Rounds like this, yeah, pat yourself on the back. You found yourself the victory, but these are a little close for 𝗏𝒏. That's going to hurt the economy. Looking at the buys now starting to come through, they're not going to be as ideal. On the opposite side, overtime, more than happy to take that one on the chin since they've built things up for 2 rounds in a row. It is up to 𝗏𝒏 to thwart that economy once more here if they want to continue that momentum, and that momentum is important due to them being on the favorable side. Another round, another opportunity to do so. 𝗏𝒏 looking to get aggressive towards that mid side, and the support from Breach likely going to flash off B lobby to give them a little bit more space to work with in this middle. He actually goes aggressive and uses that flash to his advantage, but it doesn't really flash anybody off quite yet, and Lava is just going to stop this aggressive push from B main. Frostmind, he will be able to nullify, but it's still so much damage done to the defense for playing a little too aggressively towards this courtyard push.
Punished, but will this one beat to Bottle? He's only able to get one. His teammate has fallen. It's a 1v3. Would have to be a massive round yet again. He's looking for the player in heaven. Doesn't know if there's someone out here towards long. Clears it. He's in position. Rolling Thunder. This could make the difference. If he can pop that Rolling Thunder when they go for the spike, he could catch all 3. Great headshot. Looks out for more. Can't see them. Flash ready. Swings. There's one more. No, he misses the shots. Rolling Thunder don't see knows both players are there. They're going to be hit by it. They're going to be pushed back. They're trying to spray out in the open. There's one. To Bottle looking for the final player. This would be the 4K, the clutch. And he's making his way into heaven. But look, the glass is not broken. So he has to sneak all the way around. If that glass wasn't intact, he could have had it. He's thinking about picking that up. His ammunition must be low. 3 bullets. Doesn't want to make any noise, though. It's going to come down to the taps. He's got to get the headshot. Spike plant being faked. He moves out. There it is! To Bottle with a 4K. Phenomenal stuff. What? Nobody would have pinned him as a favor to win that round.
No, especially with 3 bullets in the tank. You called it out. He was just kind of like, do I pick it up? Do I make the noise? Am I in a position to do so? Do I have the ability to do so? Wow. And you even saw as well, Juju's kind of read that well too. Lurking back around, did he go through the tree room? Where did he end up wrapping around? Man, bottle, an important clutch to win. Another round, another opportunity for them to once again thwart that economy. This would be the straw that breaks the camel's back and put overtime in a spot back down to pistols. Great start here from 𝗏𝒅𝒄, once again pushing up through catwalk. Doesn't have that breach support to flash off B lobby, but it doesn't matter. They like don't even care about catwalk. They don't even care about a potential play. Oh, 𝗏𝒅𝒄 lurking back around. Can he find these 2 picks? It's gonna be crucial. Oh, that's 1. Oh, that's 2! And the knives are down for the count for overtime. This is a huge round for Alter Ego.
Huge indeed. I mean, they're getting there. They're getting there. 4-2 up, looking at 5-2 if they can win this. And oh, that scan, it's perfect. The spray, it's an easy kill. Scary knew he was dead at that point. And the flank is on its way. There's no way. There's no way for Lava, surely. They spotted a player coming on the flank. Another flash to come around the corner, though, and it's 𝗏𝒅𝒄 with a 4K jumping around to close it out. 5-2. You know, that defense, it's already good. Honestly, if overtime pick up every single round from this point onwards, they're only in a decent position. So this is actually terrifying.
The weapons are going to be not great, I'll be honest. But doable, you know.
Right here.
This is definitely a soft buy that is better than just pistols. You've got Spectres, you've got Bulldogs, you've got Stingers. And it's likely going to be Blitz stuff you have and you want to play close range, right? But 𝗏𝒅𝒄, man, they're going to play that catwalk so often. You need an op. Like, you need something to stop 𝗏𝒅𝒄 from pushing cat. Because you have these players that are supporting, and they can support from however they want. You could have 𝗏𝒂𝒏𝒊 swing cat with 𝗏𝒅𝒄. You could have, which has been quite standard, 𝗏𝒂𝒏𝒊 and 𝗏𝒑 pushing through mid. You've got all these different combinations, and now they're swapping it up. 𝗏𝒅𝒄 and 𝗏𝒑 down the middle. 𝗏𝒂𝒏𝒊 likely going to flash off B lobby or the cat side. So many different combinations, and there's no way to stop it unless you have it op and you're holding the angle.
Revealing area.
I wonder Simo for overtime. Change of pace seems likely, seems to come through. They pick it up, they rush B, they get in up in their faces, but Frizz, he's only good for 1. Zeus and Scary, they're pulling it back, they've got the sight.
Here.
But look at the flank, it's being watched for. Catches the ball completely off guard. This is huge. Overtime need this round more than anything. They need every other one that follows in this half as well, and even a good start in the next. Oh, and it's falling apart. Not again. Surely not the 2 versus 2 now from the 2v4. Smoke out. Cloudburst blocks out the back of the site. Lava. Oh, okay. That's a godsend there that he didn't find that shot. Lava at least closes it out with a 2nd kill. 6-3. 3 to go. They need every round. There's no way you can allow any more to go towards the opposition. I don't have a lot of faith, I'll be honest.
It's going to be tough. Definitely, I think the one thing that will benefit overtime in this instance is the over-aggression from Alter Ego. You never see teams in EU and NA play this aggressively on the defensive side. And it's the confidence from Alter Ego to say, not only are we confident, but look who they're playing towards that mid side too. Breach, Omen, and Jett. Okay, Omen, Breach, you support me. I'm going to go do crazy things and be 𝗏𝒅𝒄. Fortunately, it's on the opposite side, Scary from range. Walking up the catwalk alongside the rest of the team. This support has been insane, but now as their flash, Scary finds 𝗏𝒑, and they're not going to stop. They're going to continue it to 𝗏𝒊. Going to be the 3rd to peek to 𝗏𝒊 with 2. It's answered back, and now this Rolling Thunder is useless because they're late to the party. They're late to the fray, and guess who's going to be eating good tonight? Frostmind, not him. Down to the 1v2. Frizz, up to him to clutch, and he's already here. He's already arrived as the spike's being planted. Hunter's Fury is now popped. Tags won't connect. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Well done from one more. You said they needed all of them. This could be an opportunity to tie things up 6-6.
It could be. Even then, I fear for them, but it's a start to recovery. It's the first step, that's for sure. With 2 rounds in between. Economy. I mean, just take a look at where they're at for Alter Ego. Like, they're not completely wrecked. They've got themselves Vandals. They've got a Stinger, sure, but Berserk's got the ult, and that's going to be popped. With 17 kills on the board, when Berserk has the ult, I'm pretty damn scared. I'm afraid of this guy, and he's popping it right at the start of the round. It's full confidence. It's time to send it. It's time to win this round. That's what Alter Ego are thinking. Overtime, want to move towards A. Berserk's in position to shut them down as they cross over, but they have smokes. You can smoke this out. There you go. The door going to basically be put down in the form of an unbreakable smoke. Paranoia forces Berserk backwards. He gets spammed out a little bit, but he's all right for now. Cage in. That's going to make it very difficult to push through, but he's going to wait. As soon as he hears this door be tapped, oh, he just sprays. Okay, I thought he was going to go in with the ult, but he's playing very patiently, very slowly. Rolling Thunder comes into play. Here we go. Look at all the players up close. One quick headshot. Looking for more. He goes right click, but not connecting the second. It doesn't matter, though. Traded down to the 1v1. 𝗔𝗢𝗖 from the back of the site. He catches it from afar. 6-5, only barely.
Man, they were huddled up by the fire. They're trying to stay warm in that smoke. They were just clumped up together. You called it. You thought that Berserk was going to come in with the right clicks extraordinaire, but it does not pan out the way. They also try to combo it up with a Hunter's Fury. Sorry, that was Zeus's Hunter's Fury. I'm not sure what that was. I don't know. It was just crazy. It was crazy. There was a lot to unpack. There was a lot to digest. I thought for sure the Rolling Thunder partnered with Berserk pushing forward was going to be kind of the death of overtime, but an opportunity now, like we've been highlighting, to tie things up. Economy, I didn't get a good look because I was thinking about the round. It might be a pretty safe force up. See a Vandal here for 𝗏𝗏, and he does manage to escape the threat of Zeus. But once again, overtime are ready for this blitz onto A. They don't have a lot of ultimates available. They've got obviously their Omen utility, but it doesn't catch anybody.
I mean, at least they've got the site though. They've overrun it. They get that spike plant down, and Alter Ego, they'll look for a route back in. The stun, the fault line that's going to slow it down in heaven. Are they going to break this and flash through? It looks like it. Here we go. 𝗔𝗢𝗖 catches the first, but then they're stalled by that paranoia. 𝗏𝗏 follows up on his own paranoia, grabbing himself a double, not quite the trip, but it's a 2 versus 1. The side swipe by 𝗏𝗏 in with the double to close it out. 7-5. That is a heartbreaking scoreline for overtime. They gave it the roll. They warmed up towards the end, but they'd already let it go way too far. Now they have the trouble, the tragedy, the challenge of trying to make this a defense-sided map for them while they're up against a Jett like Berserk, who's now about to be unleashed on the attacking side. He's coming up on 20 kills, and we're only one half in.
Going to be the big question mark. I think at least once we get into those gun rounds, we'll get to see a little bit of the tempo, how things pan out. But I think for this initial pistol, really beneficial for both sides. More so, I think, for Alter Ego to try to inch this one close. For overtime, yeah, it'll even things out. And then, of course, we get back down to that gun round where Alter Ego will have the advantage and regain their lead. So kind of trying to look ahead at a couple of these rounds forward, see what the tempo could feel like. Already Alter Ego preparing for this mid-aggression. 3 players strong. Omen's got a TP to safety. They're flashed out forever. Another flash comes through. Am I watching Sky or Breach? So far, it's scary, though, that I'm watching, as he's going to find 2 on the round, holding off the push. Now another one starts to come through from the opposite side. They're blinded, too, by the paranoia, but they find success. Oh, my goodness. 𝗏𝗏 and Frostmine. 𝗏𝗏 pushing forward. They find the player in the back of sight, and they got to get the spike down. See the Cypher. Shots come through. 3v2. Here comes the retake in favor of Alter Ego.
Cover going out.
Drone doesn't spot anything.
One enemy remaining.
But Frostmine still catches the kill. I think this round is about as good as done. Hold on. The push in. 𝗏𝗏 gets linked to 20. Both of these guys are low. 2 out of 3. Actually, they're all low. One's even half.
Oh, the bait. Oh, I don't know if it was an intentional bait.
Yeah, but it worked.
It worked.
Shadow stepping everywhere. It was like he was coming up with a new dance move. There were so many shadow steps in that.
Yes.
Wu-Tang would be proud.
Yeah, new member. Member right here, Omen.
You got shadow boxing. He's shadow stepping. It's a nice little combination. Imagine you're shadow stepping and shadow boxing though, right? Because it's something about footwork, flying like butterflies and whatnot. By the way, I imagine overtime we're gonna have some butterflies in their stomach right now. What the hell is this? Oh my god, Berserk, this guy's a madman. He's just dashed in. You know you're against a weak fight. He wants to take every close range fight that he possibly can, the Spectre in hand, and it's working out for him. Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Oh, he's still going. You just can't stop this guy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. It's just jet beat jet action non-stop. Almost the ace Frostmine, of course, having to support. Man, this bonus round is going to be deadly too. They managed to save every single weapon, even a Vandal coming in from Frostmine. You lose this, they've got enough money to buy until the cows come home, and that's going to be another, especially if they win this, it's going to be huge for them. Might even be really the nail in the coffin on the series. So for overtime, the most important round to win is right here. This is the one. You stop the bleeding, you force Alter Ego to force up on the second round and take down this economy that's slowly starting to develop. This is it. This is the most important thing. You've seen how fast Alter Ego want to play. Can you even stop it? Can you even stop it is the question.
The Ares buy, I mentioned this before to you, right? That I like it on a Sova because if you've got the recon, the low ammo doesn't really matter. You can still spam. And look at that. It's perfectly useful. When you've got that head peek angle down on the site and you're trying to deal with players, he's spamming through as well, looking for some victims. But in the end, the lack of mobility is what's ultimately going to cost you, combined with the wind-up time. Now we're down to the 2v2. But he's made it possible. Good work by the Sova on the site to bring this into the 2 versus 2, to hold on for so long and buy time for the rotates. There's no time to reposition for Alter Ego. They're under pressure, but the angle not checked gives Fritz an easy 4K. 10-5. Double digits for Alter Ego. And this may be the end for overtime.
The caster side in me is like, oh man, underdog story, overtime, down to the ego, likely going to be 11-5 in it. But then, like, the toxic side of me is GG, you know. This is a very tough position to be in if you're overtime. I had highlighted that was the round you wanted to win. The fact that it went down to that, oh, that just feels so rough. But there's always a but. And this time the but is in the shape and in the name of the Bucky. We've seen this be an absolute piece of kryptonite for Alter Ego and Juju's. He's ready. Ooh. That Bucky's going to sing. That Bucky's going to find a 3K. That Bucky is going to hurt. Finds one and it's traded. So maybe not as painful as we initially thought. Band-Aid going to come out. Well, I went Canadian there for a second. Come out. Stop the bleeding.
One enemy
Two
remaining.
players remaining.
Forward to seeing what will come out of this. I mean, I can't even say it. I can't even do it. This is where we're at. 11-5. We haven't really seen too much of a challenge for Alter Ego. There's been a couple of rounds here or there, the odd flash in the pan, but this series we predicted to go to Alter Ego. I made the brave move of saying 3-0. Big balls, play. And it's worked out. Not quite as big balls as Berserk, though, because this guy...
Yes. Yeah.
I've never seen a man realize that you're going up against an Eco or potentially Bucky's and just go, you know what? I'm going to just run at them. Dash in their face. Rather, I've never seen it as successfully.
You haven't watched Tens. To be fair, he's playing a very similar style. Man, Berserk just trying to avoid the flashes, but really Zeus, the turret, just right click, left click, spray, and you pray. Eventually, that's going to cost you 80 HP. Spray's going to make his way onto site. The flashes come through, but I think that was the last one. Oh! A little bit more doable now as that's traded away. Unfortunate, though, that they're both split up. Like a sad love story. Okay. Zeus with the fadeaway, don't look at explosions, cool guy move. As he just sends the shock dart and goes back to business.
It works, right? If it works, it works. Got himself the frag. Now the question is, as far as the rest of the rounds go, do they have what it takes to connect one after another, and so on indefinitely? Gonna find out the answer to that momentarily. We're about to get underway with another full buy. And it's not just the weapons that are scaring me. It's when you look up the top of the board. Okay, Overtime have got their ults, but 𝗔𝗀𝗖 got his. Sure, he's using the Vandal right now, but if things get dicey, he can pull those knives out, and the Cam sees the blue skies. They turn stormy with the blades. Overtime.
This is scary.
Position, but they're ready. That's so smart by Alter Ego. I love that they cleared that. I love that they were ready for it. They knew how much control they'd given up. The flash, the smoke, this keeps anybody out of there. Even the spam by 𝗔𝗀𝗖 actually does serious damage with a headshot through the wall, leaving that player on 1 or 2 hits by pretty much any weapon. 𝗔𝗀𝗖 gets tagged down to 30, sure, but they've got the plant, they've got the sight, and they've got the rolling thunder. That's a very aggressive play. I don't think they need to hunt them down quite this aggressively.
Well, now they just hold the crossfire. And you don't really need to hold the crossfire. 𝗔𝗀𝗖 is able to find the success. The swing scary is going to make it just that as Frizz kind of be that support from the back line. It's match point, series point, Alter Ego on the precipice of not only a couple of AOC gaming monitors, but 5,000 smackaroos. That's definitely going to be looking real nice in their bank accounts after this one. This could be the one that seals the deal. Look at Overtime. Eco is broken. See a Judge, we see a Frenzy, we see a Bulldog. That feels like a bad joke waiting to happen. You know, 3 guns walk into a bar. Those ones that walk in, you don't want to see those. A lot of ultimates available. This is a tough round ahead for Overtime fans.
One left to go, and again, the dash. It's just unbelievable. This guy never stops. He almost gets that as well, and follows through on the Phantom after the miss. What is this by 𝗔𝗀𝗖? He's unstoppable. 4 on the board. Almost the ace, but definitely the game. 4 versus 1. Lava's the last alive. 𝗔𝗀𝗖. This guy, we need to get rid of him. Honestly, someone check this guy's card. Look at that! Look at that! He's doing the finger guns so he get the eyebrows. This is just insane, dude. That guy is too good. Hey, yo, you take your moment, man. You take your moment. You own it right now, because that 𝗔𝗀𝗖, he is 𝗔𝗀𝗖. He lives up to his name. He's one of my favorite Jets to watch right now.
Bro, the man went finger guns. Holy smokes. Jet doesn't even have those. She's got finger knives. That's just, man, he just knew. He's just like, it's done. We're at match point. I'm going to go. The most impressive kill, I think, was onto Scary, who he had time to, like, there's pandemonium. He tailwinds in, and the Scary is just looking at him. He's already got the angle. He's already shooting at him, and he still is just like, no, I am the captain now. Look, I am the captain now. Just takes him down, and then through the smoke, those 2 last frags were so impressive. He wanted the ace, and that would have been really cool. But, you know, every Jet has their limitations. We're all learning. We're all trying to get better, but still 𝗔𝗀𝗖. This man showed up, not today, not yesterday, the entire tournament.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We said it coming into map number 2, right? The consistency of 𝗔𝗀𝗖. When you put him on a Jet, sure, he's going to be able to deliver. Unlike maybe someone like Gloom's bringing it up from earlier, where you had the Reyna, you had the Jet playing. The consistency was nowhere near there. Like, sure, a good map here and there. Starting out in the quarterfinals very well, but it's just not enough. And for 𝗔𝗀𝗖, he's one of these players who can do whatever the hell he wants. You can see him. He's young. He's vibrant. He's got the skills. I love the little bit of attitude as well at the end. That was absolutely fantastic. Let's take a look at the stats, and I think if you're not expecting 𝗔𝗀𝗖 to be up the top of the scoreboard, you need your head examined. 30 kills. He's dropped
the combat score. Oh,
he's almost firstly, he's almost double the kills of anybody else on the server. And secondly, I genuinely think that's the highest combat score I've ever seen in a grand finals. 460. What?
He also has the highest first blood, so we're going to see his name plastered on the next board completely. But the man went on a mission, and he completed that mission. He had a point to prove. I don't know to who, but I don't think I want to know. After that performance, I don't know who he was targeting. But man, You'll love to see it. I wish we had this guy in NA. This guy would be a blast, a
No,
hoot to watch.
You guys,
He's so good.
You guys don't steal him away to North America. Jesus, let's get him in EU. Let's get him over here. Let's put him in the skilled region. All right, we want him on one of the best teams in the world, not whatever the hell you want to call North America. This guy, Southeast Asia, is blessed to have him. I think when you look at 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄 as a team coming into this tournament, they weren't on my radar. They weren't looking like a squad that would win it. Let's go back through 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄's history. Right, they're like fourth at Good Luck Have Fun Open. They're first to second. So they've got 3 wins on their board. They've got first to second, ESL Community Clash October Finals. They've got first at ESL Community Clash again, and then they won the previous AOC Masters for Indonesia to make it through to here. So in terms of what you expect from them globally, by the way, the team they beat, Frostwolf, who they beat 3-1 in the finals of that qualifier, didn't even make it. They bottomed their group. They lost to Todak, Attack All Round, and Team 600. So the expectations for 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄 coming into this could not have been lower. We had none. No expectations whatsoever. They're a filled team that come through. Then they get put into a group with Myth Attitude and Team SMG. I think I said on the first day, well, we don't need to even play that group. Like, we know who's going to make it through. Let's just move on. And yet these guys, they win the tournament. They outplace SMG, Myth, Overtime, AHQ, Legends, like Attack All Round. So many teams that they should never have had a chance of beating. This is by far their biggest achievement under their belt, and I think they have got to be unbelievably proud of what they've achieved. Obviously, second and first strike Indonesia, that's a big deal, but to expand this much regionally to Southeast Asia, my applause goes out to them, and I'm really, if anything, 𝗏𝒏𝒄, this has just made me more hyped for World Finals, for when we actually get to see all of these teams in one place.
Please. I want to see 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄 develop, see them on the Champions Tour. I don't know I don't know how the slots work, like what representation happens, but you can imagine they're going to be fighting for that Southeast Asia slot. Aside from one map, they went undefeated. They only lost a map to, I think, Team SMG, which was defeated by Bren, which we now know had the potential of being the 3rd place finalist, minus the fact that they had to go to another tournament. So they forfeit their 3rd map. But, man, 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄 just had a beautiful story coming into this, and you had highlighted kind of their performance of the past couple of months and really how it looked for some of the other teams coming into this, like AHQ, for example, and Todak, teams that really have been around the block, Attack All Around as well, have really been around the block and are veteran on the sidewalk. And here comes this new kid on the block who's just really stunts and shines. And it's through this young kid with a lot of gusto, a lot of pizzazz, Berserk. What a way to end the tournament. I honestly can't be happier with how they performed here at 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄, and I wish them nothing but the best. This is going to be a roster that I hope we get to see, like we said, at the Champions Tour, and going up against the likes of Fnatic, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, or TSM, or G2, or Fun Plus Phoenix, whoever they end up facing, it is going to be fun to see how they perform, win or lose.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is it. This is what we're living for now, is to see everybody offline at a LAN event. I couldn't be happier with this tournament overall, for the simple reason that we have now highlighted the fact that we have their favorites. We have the teams, you know, your AHQs, SMG, Myth, Attack All Round. And now we have got in the semifinals, the top 4 of this tournament, Attack All Round. Sure, you expect them. Bren? No, you do not expect them to be in the top 4, considering the caliber of teams that are in this tournament. Overtime, and 𝗏𝒐𝒏𝒄 as your champions. Phenomenal. It shows the depth this region has. It shows the promise. And Valorant is bringing new hope to FPS, globally at least, for the Southeast Asia and Asian region. I'm excited for the future of what this game holds, 𝗏𝒏𝒄. I know you are too. But look, unfortunately, there's nothing else to be excited about today, because we're done and dusted here. We're finished. It has been an absolute pleasure, my man, getting the cast with you. Thank you for getting up at, 2 a.m., 1 a.m. your time, to come along and have some fun with me here on the AOC Masters tournament. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully we get to do this again sometime.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm hoping for it too.
All right. Well, look, To all you watching at home, and to, of course, AOC for putting on this fantastic tournament, thank you. Congratulations to Alter Ego on winning the top prize, $5,000, and of course, all 4 of the teams who made it to top 4 and to the semifinals have gotten themselves some beautiful AOC monitors, which you can do too, only you'll have to pay for them or get really good at Valorant and earn them in the next AOC tournament. For now, though, guys, we gotta bid you farewell. It has been an absolute pleasure. I am Mitch, with me has been Simo, and we will see you in the next one.
Player standing.
Buried.
Defenders win. One enemy remaining.
Message sent.
One enemy remaining.
No more.
One enemy.
No more.
See ya.
Player standing. Enemy remaining.
You were a mistake.
Clone kill.
Put down.
One enemy remaining. Attackers win. Thrifty.
Your fault.
One enemy remaining. One enemy. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless. Remaining. 30 seconds. One enemy remaining. Clutch. Attackers win.
Spike's here.
Last player stand. One enemy remaining.
Out.
You're fine.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining. Flawless. Last player.
Bye.
3. One enemy remaining. Flawless.
Walking sight.
One enemy remaining.
One down.
One.
I know exactly.
No target blood.
One enemy remaining. Attackers win.
Let's build a dog out of sticks and